Andrew. Alright, if you stay on the line, we're just going into the news and we'll be with you very soon. Stay on the line, mate.
Well now, let's see, are we, just the next, isn't it?
It's the next, yeah. It should work out dead right to the second.
Well, we're looking at
The clock.
Oh, this is 58.
Hmm?
We're around 58.
I have another minute left on the music, yeah?
Caught me out with the time, that.
We're going to play it a minute early.
No. I thought I had more time to have a talk to John. I missed out. 23:20.
Watch the wires.
And in your lonely flight, and you heard the music in the night. Wonderful music, faint as a will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a will.
It'll finish dead up to the news, mate.
Oh, you're just showing off, right?
I'm just clever. Absolutely genius.
I don't know if you can find these things.
Hey!
So if you see them, very well, won't you leave me there?
Oh, lovely.
From the North radio station, this is Century News.
The 10 o'clock news, this is Anne-Marie Minhall. NATO warships have launched cruise missiles at Serbs in Bosnia. The attacks on northwestern Bosnia are part of the campaign to force Serbs to withdraw their heavy weapons from around Sarajevo. Reporter Jim Clancy is aboard a U.S. Navy ship and watched as 13 Tomahawk missiles were fired.
The missiles roared into the sky before beginning their runs towards SAM sites. The missiles were aimed at sites operated by the Serbs in the area of Banja Luka, sites that do indeed pose a threat to NATO aircraft.
NATO spokesman Captain Jim Mitchell, speaking from Naples, says the missiles are extremely accurate and avoid putting pilots' lives in danger.
We've been working in close coordination with the United Nations Peace Forces commander in Zagreb on the plan to use these missiles. But of course, most of all, using these missiles minimizes the danger to NATO pilots operating over Bosnia-Herzegovina.
The attacks come as a meeting was thought to be underway between the Serb military leader and the UN commander in Bosnia. French President Jacques Chirac had requested a suspension of NATO airstrikes so both men could meet for fresh talks. Police in Norfolk searching for a missing teenager have found a body. 18-year-old Rachel Lean vanished 5 days ago from Buxton. Sergeant John Smith says a body's been discovered near an RAF station.
It was an organised search team. They had checked the area from RAF Colchester to Buxton where Rachel is living, and they were conducting a search in the opposite direction when, as I say, they came across a body.
The former manager of a Birmingham hostel for elderly men has been charged with 2 more murders. 65-year-old George Britton is now accused of killing 4 residents. It follows an 8-month investigation by West Midlands Police into a string of suspicious deaths. Damon Hill's been threatened with a one-race ban after colliding with Michael Schumacher in the Italian Grand Prix. If he breaks the rules in his next race, Hill will be out of the following one. Independent Radio News.
Northeast weather.
With Northern Electric, the North's leading energy company.
Yeah, it's going to be a cloudy night with a chance of showers throughout God's country. Overnight low 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow, well, much the same. Cloudy, showery, some sunny spells. Top temperature 60 degrees Fahrenheit at Cullercoats. And of course here at 100 to 102 FM.
Century.
Now, live across the region, the Northeast's biggest phone-in. Here he is, Mike the Mouth Elliott.
Yeah! It's showtime! Welcome everybody out there in God's country to tonight's show of shows. Get aboard on Governor Radio at the pointy end. Mercy! This is Mighty Mike the Mouse, hitting you from the station to station, Century on 100, 102 FM. All you gotta do to join the fun games is pick up the old telephone, punch out the following digits. 0500 100 102, 3 calls to Mighty Mike the Mouse. Now come and get your jobs bit. Talk to me. Well, I don't think so, personally. Cut him off. One or two. Right now, first off, let's, what we're going to say now. Now, I've got to say the press over the weekend, and actually I've got to say our newsroom here at Century have been a bit sort of, I think, seedy, you know, broadcasting personal affairs in the press and on the radio about my good self. I'm just going to say 3,000 good evenings to everybody. 3,000 smackaroony good evenings. Love yous all 3,000 times. And there is 2,980 of them to come, because I love yous all out there. And then the press off they went, splattering out my personal affairs, and I think that's a bit out of order. I think there's got to be some times an icon has got to have some kind of, well, privacy. That's all. Not a lot to ask. Privacy. And suddenly obviously my privates were exposed to all and sundry in the press and on the media. But there you go. That's it. It's a thing that's been said. You all know the story now. And let's not mess around here. I was wrong. I stepped out of line, broke the rules, and I'm man enough to accept the fact that, yeah, I was wrong. I'll pay for it. I'll pay the fine. I'm saying the station was actually fine, but no, it's me. I did it, and simple and straightforward. And when you're me, I've got principles, and if I've got to, if there's a fine, then it's me to pay it. I'll pay it, the money, and that's what I'm going to do. I've said to the boss here, I says, no, I've got you into the mess. I'll get you out of the mess, and $3,000, okay. Okay, it's a week's wages, and right, I'll pay 'em. So that's the end of it, as far as I'm concerned. Now, there are people out there, obviously, who have wrote in and complained. It's everybody's right in a free society to, they're entitled to complain. I don't bear any grudges at all. They know who they are. They try to get me the sack. They snitched. Bit of a sneaky business, but that's their right. And of course, it's your right, if you enjoy the show, to write it and sing its praises. That's a fair thing. So I've got no grudges against the people who try to get me the sack, and I'll send them 3,000 kisses as well. There you are, 3,000 apologies, if that's what you want, and it's done now. Okay, so that's the first thing. That's out the way then. Right, we've got that diddly. What else have we got now? Do you know, this morning I went down to church, and I must admit I'm not a church goer. I'm not really a Christian in that sense, but I went down to church to see, and I've got to admit I was surprised in many ways. I felt very relaxed, and yet it was empty. Church was almost empty, and I thought, well, that's sad. That's sad. So-called Christian country, and it's empty. They only seem to get full if Songs of Praise comes to visit them. Then everybody comes out the woodwork. People who've never been to church before in their lives, get a new hat on, new scarf, fully made up, and out there in the front row, getting the best pews. But then I sat in the back, And I tipped me money in the plate and everything else. I'm just wondering now, when was the last time you were at church? Can you tell me that? When was the last time you went into a church to use it properly? When was the last time you went to church? And are there people who go regular, more than once a week? Some people out there maybe go once a day. Tell me on that. 0500 100 107. Okay? And I'll tell you another thing. What luxury? If you could have a luxury, one luxury in your life, what would you pick? What would it be? There's a wish to be granted. You can have one luxury. It will just suddenly appear before you. Whatever you want. What would it be? What luxury would you take with you, or just want to have? Anyway, we'll talk about lots of things. 0500 100 102. That's the magic numbers, and that will get you on the show of shows. It's very simple, and we'll boogie through and see what time we finish. We'll busk that. We'll busk the time I finish. I'm quite happy to stay all night. If you're happy to stay up with me, I'll stay on. It's okay? Cool? Okay, we got that. Okay. Let's go to this one here. Is that Paul? Paul? Hello? Paul? Are we talking to an idiot out there?
Boys.
Are you an idiot or what?
On, so I'm coming on.
Who's this? Who is it?
Paul, Mike.
Oh man, hey. Now, you've just gotten me off on a bad start here. Now, who is it?
Mike.
Right, start again. Who's that?
It's Mark, man.
Right, Mark. Right.
Hey, when I'm not answering, because asking for Paul.
Well,
Mark.
That's the person who phoned in.
No, Mark.
Right, what do you want to talk about, Mark?
What is, Mike? I've been phoning about unemployment recently and all that crap, you know? What is, I'm homeless at the minute, you know?
You're homeless? Where are you phoning from?
South Shields.
Yeah, well, you're in somebody's house, aren't you?
My friend's house.
So you're stopping at your friend's house?
No, not my friend's.
Yeah, turn your radio down, you interfere with me now. Turn the radio
down, please.
Yeah, he was. I know he was told.
Right, no, what is, right, I've, about a year ago, Mike, I had a house on the Woodbine, you know? Are you there?
Yep.
Right, and I was getting burgled every other week, you know?
Yeah.
The day I moved in, someone knocked on my door on the Woodbine, South Shields, and turned around and said, can I buy a boiler? You know, a combination boiler.
Yeah.
So I turned around and said, no, you can't. So they give us a choice. If you didn't sell it, we'll take it off you. You know, when you're not in.
Oh, that's very, very kind of them. It's nice to see thieves offering you a choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, modern.
So they took the boiler on anyway, right? And I gone upstairs house on the Woodbine, you know, after complaining to the local council about what had happened. And I got broken into a few times there.
Yeah.
And I was living on top of a drug dealer, you know, who was giving us hassle and that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I packed the flat in, you know.
Right.
So since then I've been living at friends' houses, and I've had a furnished flat, which was a heaper, you know.
Right. Yes.
And what is, I've been back to the council a couple of months ago asking them for a house, and they've turned around and said, oh, you packed the house in on the Woodbine, so you can't have a house for 2 years.
Well, did you explain the reason?
Well, I'd put complaints in, you know, about the Woodbine, you know, about being broken into, having drug dealers downstairs and etc., you know.
Mm.
So, with us going down there to the council and saying, oh, you've got to wait 2 years then.
I would go down to the CAB first tomorrow.
Well, that's what
Mark.
I'm planning to do, mate.
Go down to them first, just to get some kind of registration in that sort of area, and then trying to find out who your local councillor is, and where you are now and where you were.
See what it is, like, so tonight, I'm at my friend's house. Luckily, I've got somewhere to stay tonight, but tomorrow night, you know, God knows what will happen.
Well, it's not a nice thing to be homeless. It didn't seem to be because of you. It's because of circumstances. I find the council's attitude a bit strange, but trouble is sometimes you come across bureaucracy and they didn't put people first. They put their rules first. Maybe somebody from South Tyneside Council could maybe phone in and tell us what their policy is on this.
You see, Mike, you look all over Shields, you see houses boarded up. They've been boarded up for like weeks and months. And people like me who are willing to go in and pay the rent, you know, and they're still homeless, waste the money, and they...
Well, there must be a policy decision somewhere about that. Either that they're unfit for habitation and the council's budget doesn't run to getting them repaired, because you'll not be allowed to go into somewhere that's not fit for habitation. But it's they've also got a responsibility not to have homeless people just sleeping rough. So I think you're going to have to put some pressure on the council. It may well be that because you're stopping with mates, the council feel as though, well, you're coping, which is not the answer.
See, they tell you going to bed and breakfast and that. I've been at bed and breakfast, but I didn't have, you know, how inconvenient that is.
I have had a few mates been in bed and breakfast, not up here down the south. I think it's the most stupidest thing that's ever been brought out. It's a rip-off. It costs us, me as a taxpayer, more money than it makes sense to put people back into a home so they can look after themselves, rather than let a few landlords get very rich. So I'm against them, and I think I'm surprised a Labour council isn't against them. But I would just keep trying, okay?
Yeah.
And let us know what's happening. And if there's anybody from South Tyneside, give us a bell.
Mike, can I put my cousin on? Because she wants to talk to you. She's not spoken to you before.
Well, hurry up, because I've got a queue.
Hurry up, Susan. Hurry. She's coming now, Mike. Okay.
Okay, and best of luck, Mark.
Cheers, I think.
Best of
I'll
luck.
back you up and,
Go
you
for
know,
it.
your daft fine you got.
Well, don't mention fine.
Well,
I don't want that word mentioned.
Well, did you hear the show this morning? For your garden needs, it's sure you're looking for. Did you hear them?
I don't listen to the idiots.
Think Mickey help you?
I don't listen to them idiots. No, not for me. Not for me.
All right. Good
Hurry
night
up.
for now, Mike.
Good night, Mark. Best of luck.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Bit hard, that. Bit hard. Is anybody from South Tyneside could maybe come on and let us know what's happening? You know, because they all seem to have different styles and different opinions or different ways of doing things. Gets very confusing to a body like me. Just if you come on, don't mention the word fan. That word is banned, right? If you keep on that, I'll dump you. I don't want that word because it's just annoying. It's an irritating word to me, that. Jen.
Hello.
Hi, Jen. Where are you phoning from?
Wallsend.
Wallsend.
Yeah. I just wanted some advice.
Here we are, the icon is here.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've phoned you. This is my second time I've been on. Cause the first time I phoned you was about Gobber. Remember, he was in Durham.
About who?
Gobber. He was in Durham.
Gobber.
Yeah, when you went in there, you could see him.
Oh, yes. I got you, yes.
He got out on Friday.
Oh, he's out, is he?
Aye.
Legally?
Yep.
He hasn't gone out of the wall or out like that?
Well, I wouldn't know. What it is, I mean, he had a load of hassle, right, and shields, no shields, and he knew my brother. That's how I knew him, right? And now, he got put away from my house one night because I had a bit of a drink and had a laugh, right? And then he got put away. He went to Durham. I've been there for him. I've sent him money. I've sent him these things he needs. His road was all this and that, right? Now, for 3 months, I think he was in. I thought, like before, we were friends, and he says he respected my friendship.
Yeah.
And what had happened was, I started getting letters, and I thought, oh, he's might have changed. Now he's writing all these sloppy letters, and I was writing him sloppy letters what I was dying to do to him, and all things like that, you know. Now, the funny thing is, though, now he's out, he's just dumped us.
Well, I would say you're better off without him. You're better off without him. It might have been the one decent thing he's done in his life. You know, it might well be, you know, because he's a loser if he's going to end up in jail, and if he's come out and he's thought better of it with you might have escaped a fate worse than death.
I mean, I waited like 7 months for him because at first we're friends, right? And he said he respected his friendship. But now, like, I got a letter on Tuesday before he actually come out on a Friday, and he turned around and says that apparently it's always been in my mind that something is actually going to come out between us. Now, why is he, I can't understand, or why is he waited from the time he went in to the time he's just come out?
It was useful. It was an activity. You were writing letters to him. There was somebody there. There was a kind of a bond. People in funny situations like prison are never going to react in any sense fully normal. I mean, it's because they're in an unnatural situation. So you've done them some good. But it doesn't want it to carry on. I think you should get out and have yourself a good glass of gin and toast your escape, because obviously he's not that way. If he's not that way, then I think he's done a gentlemanly thing. Would you believe that? He's done it. He has done a gentlemanly thing because he's not leading you on anymore.
Oh, no, no. But as I said, I can't understand how I thought something was going on. Why is he waiting until he's due to come out before he's actually telling us?
Well, because he was benefiting from that relationship while he was inside. But women, you're very gullible. You believe out there a lad will tell you, or you get yourselves fantasising on certain relationships. Well, it's not going to be. He's out, and he doesn't want, in that sense, you to be part of his life in a deeper way. It may well be that later on there can be a friendship there, but he doesn't want it to go further. Then that's good, because you're out of it. And that's good. Then you've got to find somebody else.
Right. Well, what had happened on Thursday when I found out he was getting probably out on the Friday because he wasn't sure about some days or something he lost, Now, what had happened was I wrote a letter, and my sister lives above us and that, and I says, I don't want to say him, I says, because he hurt me in this letter. I mean, he should have told us me fees. And partly according to him, he turned around and said he couldn't tell us me fees because he knew it would have hurt us.
Well, they are.
Now, the thing is, though, he came here on Friday and I was at my brother's. I got a phone call saying he was back home. And I mean, he got it in the neck, mind, when he come in the door. And I turned around and says, I said, you've got a nerve, you. I said, put me through all that, making a fool of myself, and then all this and that. Well, and now, I went out last night and I come in and he just packed his stuff and he's gone.
Well, I think he's done you a favour. And I think that you should, now you've got a life, you're not an idiot, don't be an idiot anymore. Right, you've had your foolishness, now get off the foolishness, find somebody else, okay?
Right, thanks a lot.
Go for it, kid, go for it. Women, you believe everything. You believe, say it could be a spaceman, an alien, E.T. If he had a tadger and says he loved you, you'd believe him. What is it, are you thick out there? What is it about women? I don't know. Jamie.
Hi, right, Mike.
Hi, Jamie.
It's Jamie from Peterlee.
Jamie from Peterlee, well known, renowned, world famous. Of course, the world waits with bated breath, Jamie. What are you going to talk about?
I want to talk about Cleveland Council.
You want to talk about Cleveland Council?
Aye, I've been going to Hartlepool United matches.
Aye.
For 7 years now, right? And we've got a new chairman in.
God, you're a loser, aren't you? My God.
Aye, so
from Peterlee, and you got to Hartlepool. Say, have you got any ambition?
Yeah, not really.
God, mate,
I've been going for 7 years, right?
This is the third call. I'm depressed. I might just put the horn in my ear. God, go on then.
We've got a new chairman coming, right?
Aye.
And he's built 2 new stands, done all the ground up, and now the council's cutting the capacity by 40%.
Because it's not supposedly safe, and under the report from which report was it about football ground safety? I forget which one it was. There have been that many reports out in different things. And the council officers always will protect their own backsides. So any chance that anything could go wrong, there's nobody from the council who's going to get the blame. So then that's why they do it. And it's a bit of a problem, for this football firm. But they've got to bite the bullet and try and improve again. It costs more money.
I was there on Saturday, right? And there were stands, it's a stupid one, the seats empty all the way along,
Yeah, but there's after the Bradford disaster and the Hillsborough disaster, you've got this new guidelines in, and they're very strict with them. They're very, very strict. People died, and they're not prepared to endorse anything that if somebody dies and it comes back on them. So they're just protecting the backs. So so it's up to the boss of Hartlepool to get it sorted out, do a deal with them, come to some arrangement where they're all going to be happy.
Aye.
But I admire your pluck for being a supporter of Hartlepool, because there's so many people you could have went to the borough, now they're in the Premier Division or Newcastle, but you've stuck through thick and thin.
Aye.
Thick and thin.
Wait.
More thick than thin, to be honest.
The stewards there, right? It's like 15-year-old kids. What they're not going to stop anybody, are they?
Well, you would hope that the people who watch football matches have the good sense just to go there and watch the game and enjoy it. And they shouldn't be on the pitch because they're destroying it. And they shouldn't give the stewards any trouble because they have got supposedly wisdom. If they're too thick, then it should be banned. Ban them.
Well, they played Newcastle a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
In that Brandon testimonial game.
And that's what caused the problem.
All it was on the pitch was little kids, man. Nobody stopped them going on.
I see. That's little kids.
There was only kids on. There was no fighting or violence or nothing.
No, but it's damaging. Do you know how much a pitch like that costs? Even something like for Hartlepool in a lower division. It's a lot of money, a lot of ground care, a lot of ground staff's wages got to be paid. And having silly little bomb pots running on and digging it in and all that doesn't do it any good, and it costs the club money, and that's all important. So they should keep off it, and I realise, you know, there's never going to be a vast crowd invasion at Hartlepool, but nevertheless, keep off it, okay? Otherwise, you'll get into trouble.
This is a cry for help. Blood reserves are always low at this time of year, so please arrange your donation now. Phone 0345 711 711.
Listen. Quiet, isn't it? It's always quiet at night. There's a fox. And that's an otter. Oh, that's a parcel force articulated lorry, carrying parcels for delivery to 9 out of 10 of the largest companies in the UK. Sleep tight.
For details of an express delivery service for companies large or small, call Parcel Force on 0800 10 12 24, day or night.
5 miles left and the new View from Vantage Road shoes. The Vantage, a high-performance road shoe with the cushioning to keep you comfortably ahead. Designed by View From, engineered by Brooks, now at your nearest foothold store. The Vantage Road shoe by View From, for people who are hard to follow.
Why book next year's Spanish holiday through a travel agent when you can book direct with us and save pounds? Call 01740 650 530 now, and you could be going to Benidorm or Mallorca next summer from as little as £129 per person. Plus, there's hundreds of free places for children. Cut out the middleman. Call 01740 650 530 now for details of great bargain holidays direct. 01740 650 530 now.
Only Q. At Network Q, we check the brakes. We check the engine. We check the suspension. We check the mileage. We make 114 checks on every used car we sell. Network Q. We don't like nasty surprises any more than you do.
You're my dream come true.
For the address of your nearest Network Q dealer, ring 0800 114 114.
If you've got something to say it to the man who loves to talk, Mike Elliott. The phone-in live and exclusive on Century across the Northeast. 0500 100 102. Calls to Century are free.
Yeah, well, how much? How much was that? Oh, that's very good, thanker. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, lovely. How much was that? Was it about £3? £3? £3? That's 2,000. 2,000. Not bad. It's doing well. Hey, Anne.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Anne. How are you?
I'm all right, lovey. How are you?
Well, very nice, very nice, very nice.
Now, what's all this about? I never read it in my papers today.
What?
You.
Oh, look, I don't want to talk too much about it. You know, it was in the papers. I think. Oh, I don't know when it was in the papers.
Well, it wasn't in the Telegraph.
Oh, well, I should hope not. I should hope not. For goodness sake, I wouldn't look for it anyway. I don't know what papers it was in or not in. I don't think it was in Sundays. I think it was in Saturdays and Fridays, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yes, and I think that's when the news...
it wasn't in Saturday's Telegraph either.
You see, the news broke then, and I was aware.
It'll only be news of screws.
No, I don't know. I think the Journal and the Chronicle and the Guardian had it in and stuff like
it'll be some of the news of screws.
No, the Guardian had it in. Excuse me.
Excuse me at all. I don't like the Guardian either.
Well, that's it. So that's... Well, I was a bit annoyed.
I've got a problem.
Go on.
No. My dogs, or the puppies, are addicted to you. Which is a slight problem when I have 9 pups.
Yes, nine pups, yes. Well, there you go.
Yes.
The mind boggles, isn't it?
They're only 6 weeks old, but the minute you come on the radio...
Oh, come off it, Anne, for goodness sake.
Seriously, this is absolutely dead serious. The minute you come on the radio, they go round and they cuddle themselves round the radio, because I have the radio on the floor.
You want to put it on the table? Move it up. Get a bit highbrow. Can't have it on the floor.
But
no, he's talking about
what is easier?
It's an icon here.
Oh, sorry, I.
So you've got 9 little dogs all wrapped round the radio.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they only go round it when you're on.
Because even dogs can recognise an icon when they hear it. You know, I have this.
When you switch off the air, they change channels.
Well, that's a disgrace. They should never change channel. There's only one channel, and it should be Century. You should be welded into Century by now. There's no other channels.
What do you do about it, Mike?
What?
What do you do?
Well, I'll tell you, put the radio on a table, or put it on the mantelpiece.
If I put it on the table, they'd jump on the table.
What?
If I put it on the table, they'd jump
What type
on
of
the table.
dogs are there?
Well, this lot of lurchers.
Lurchers?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you are, then. That's it, then. Get them onto the gin. Start mixing the gin with the lassie or the pal. Get a bit of gin in the thing. They'll be asleep by 8:30. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. No bother at all.
No, but it's terrible, though.
Well, it's not terrible.
The
It shows that
minute they hear your voice, they don't like Mike Parr, they don't like Tony Fisher or whatever his name is. They don't like Morgan.
Oh, they don't cock the legs, do they, on the radio, do they? I hope they're not cocking the legs on John Morgan, because he's not like that. That'd be well miffed, I'll tell you that.
I think they would if they had a chance.
Well, just be careful. They might get a short circuit, then you only have you'll have 8 dogs. Well, these things happen. I am an icon to all things, animals as well as people. But I have to live with this. I have to live with this, you see. You see, they probably understand the power, the authority in the voice.
Yeah.
You see, this is it. Like you do. So there you are.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye-bye. There goes Anne with our mad dogs, and is Matthew without his dogs, I presume. Hello, Matthew.
Here's Matthew.
It's Matthew?
Matthew from Bradford.
Matthew from Bradford. Are you a first-time caller?
Tonight I am, yes.
Well, I know tonight you are. We've only been on half an hour. I would have guessed if you'd been on.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller tonight.
I'm talking to an idiot. I've got an idiot here. Righto, Matthew. How are you?
I'm all right, thank
Good.
you.
How is Bradford?
Well, I think it's been raining today.
You think? Have you not looked outside?
No.
Why?
Well, I've got my curtains closed now.
Why?
Well, I don't want everybody to look in, like, you know.
Why? What you doing? That you don't want people to look at you doing?
Well, I suppose it's getting colder, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that's just, you just put the fire on. You don't have to close your curtains.
Oh, right.
You know.
Right.
And you haven't been out at all?
No.
Oh, right.
Besides, there'll be a bit of trouble if I go out.
Why?
Well, you know, you hear about these things.
What things?
Getting people starting on you, you know.
Oh, muggers and bullies.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, and do people pick on you?
No.
Because you don't go out?
Well, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I shall be going out in a few weeks' time.
Few weeks?
Yes.
You're going to stop in for a few weeks?
No, I shall be going out before then.
Oh, good. I mean,
right. Because I think I told you before that Neil Sedaka is coming.
I've told you not to mention him.
Sorry. Have I said something wrong again?
Well, I just think I don't like him.
Don't you like him?
No, I don't like him.
Who do you like?
Well, there's so many. I mean, I could be here all night telling you who I liked, but I want to find out who you like. You like, obviously, Neil Sedaka.
Oh, and Beatles were good.
Aye. They've broke up, you know.
And Mick Jagger's band, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, they're still gone.
Oh, and I like Lindisfarne as well.
Oh, I've been there. It's a nice place. Go to the Priory.
Really?
The Priory's nice. And the castle.
I've seen it on the telly that night.
Oh, well, you've got to get across on the causeway, you know. And if you get it wrong, the tide comes in and traps you.
Right.
You see.
Right. And I've spoken to your mate Steve.
Steve who?
Phillips.
I've never met him.
You've never met him?
No.
Well, it works for you anyway.
Well, there's that many work for me.
Is it really?
Matthew, to be honest,
Yeah.
Being an icon, laddie, it is a problem. I have minions all over the place.
Millions all over the place.
No, minions. Millions of minions.
Oh, I get you.
Millions of minions.
Right. Sorry.
Go, please.
Is it my turn to talk?
Why not?
Right. What seaside places are nearer to you?
Seaside. You like the seaside? Well, I tell you this, in God's country is wonderful seaside. Starting down the south, you've got Redcar,
Yeah.
right? And then you come up and you've got Seaton Carew.
Yes, I've heard of them.
And then you've got to miss a bit because they're still cleaning the beaches up. But then you've got Seaburn and Roker.
Yes.
And then you've got Tynemouth and Whitley Bay.
Yes.
And then you go right up to Bamborough. So we've got lovely beaches. There's lots of beaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, people go out there and swim and surf. You know?
Yes. Any more seaside places?
No, I've just mentioned them all.
Oh,
I've mentioned
sorry.
the whole coastline for you there.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you'd enjoy them.
Yes. I found that leaflet that your company sent to me. It's got Century on it.
Oh, well, it would if we sent it.
Yeah, okay.
We're kind of strict like that, you know.
Yeah, and do you broadcast in Middlesbrough?
Do I broadcast? We have an office in Middlesbrough.
Oh, well,
But we broadcast from Gateshead.
Gateshead.
Aye.
You broadcast from Gateshead, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it must be that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Broadcasting, you know.
Right, yes.
Fancy myself as a broadcaster, you know.
Really? Good, good.
Indeed, you
Well,
know.
I think you're doing very well here.
Thank
I think
you.
you're doing very, very well here, actually.
Thank you.
I tell you what, just say this. This is the BBC Home Service. Say that.
Oh, I daren't, you know.
Why?
Last time I mentioned that to another radio station, I think you're ready to do that, aren't you?
Who is?
You are.
I'm not.
Well, I won't mention them in case you do.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, say this is Century. Century broadcasting on 100 to 102 FM. Say that.
Oh, I can say that.
Well, go on then. Say that.
Century broadcasting on 100 and 102 FM.
You should have been better than that, I tell you that. You should have done better. Maureen.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
A bit upset, actually.
Sorry?
A bit upset.
Why?
Well, a few days ago, somebody had gone into the garden and smashed the plants up in the fuchsia, me pride fuchsias, and tipped the troughs over, and what they couldn't smash up, they actually just ripped up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heartbreaking when you go through the full year to get them ready for shows.
Oh, was it? Were you sure? Oh, I see.
And I don't know if I think you remember me, Mike. It shake a lot.
Yeah, I know, Maureen. Yeah.
And it really was heartbreaking.
Well, it's just mindless vandalism that we have, and it's usually done by kids who seem to have no understanding or care or thoughts about what their actions are going to produce. You know, they just do things.
I've tried to get some advice, Mike, on how to protect the bottom half of the garden because there's a brick wall, you see, and they've got over the brick wall, and I can't put any barbed wire up because I'm liable if anybody hurts themselves.
Oh, that's it. You know, you can't protect yourself. You can't put barbed wire up because the poor little deers, when they come in to vandalise your garden, might cut their finger. You know, what sort of world are we living in? The Englishman's home is his castle. Well, why can't we protect the castle? You know, why is it that we've got to be left naked? But the powers that be who rule us, they make sure that John Major's got police protection. They've all got protection. Tony Blair's got it. Why is it that they're safe and sound, but the rest of us can't protect ourselves? It's an obscenity.
What made me even mad was, you see, that if they'd wanted the damn things out and knocked at the door, I would have given them.
It's not that, no. You see, Maureen, you keep trying to put into a brain here. You're trying to use your brain. It doesn't work. These are brain-dead people, Maureen.
I'll tell you what, I got some advice from the lads on the gardening programme about some certain stuff that I'll be using.
But they'll still come in, I'm afraid, if they're just wicked. These are wicked people.
The bloody nasty, sheer nastiness.
Well, it is, but I don't even think I'm not even sure if some of these have got the intelligence to have a vendetta mentality, you know? Like, we will go and get Maureen and hurt her. I just think they go and do things like mindless, evil things, and then disappear. And There's nothing in there. And that's the worry. I think that's what worries everybody, is that there is this children of a mindless variety who just do things violently. And nobody seems to be stopping them. Nobody seems to be allowing us to protect ourselves from them.
There were some people that I was talking to around the thing. I mean, I won't mention any names. I know you're not allowed to.
No, please don't.
But apparently the grandmother and the mother were watching these kids destroy the bushes near the houses. The living trees and the beautiful trees.
Yeah.
They were actually sat watching them through the window, watching them destroy these
So
trees.
that's the mother and the grandmother?
Yeah.
They say, well, there you are, you see. We have families up here who somehow have slipped through the web at birth because they haven't got a brain. I don't know how they've managed it, but there's nothing in their heads, you know. And what it is these people should be smart. They should fire them out of a cannon. But, you know, they just... Oh, words fear me. I'm not allowed, you see. I'm not allowed.
I know. It maddens me to think that, you keep your property decent and you keep your garden nice. I mean, anybody will tell you around here that we have got a decent garden.
Yep.
It's a good show garden.
Well, that's it. Jealousy, anger, it could be just that. So I can't be bothered to do that. I haven't got the effort. I haven't got the intelligence to do that. Therefore, I'm going to spoil hers. That sort of mentality happens as well.
You know, you were talking about the luxury that you're on about.
Mm-hmm.
I would like a jacuzzi.
Ah, great. The jacuzzis are great.
And I think it'd be absolutely marvellous. Now, the trouble is I'd have to have a deep one.
Well, what the ones I first tried in California were big old wine vats. So they stood about 6, 7 foot high, 8 foot.
Did you drink the wine first?
Of course, dear. Of course. And then you just fill them with water and you had the jacuzzi and you sort of went into them that way. You just, oh, wonderful. And you sat, there was seats inside. Wonderful. Of course, around here, the Shildon, you've heard of the Shildon jacuzzi?
No.
Well, that's a bath, a normal bath. You fill it with hot water, right, and then toss 3 cats in, then get in with them. And when they're trying to get out, it bubbles up amazingly well, and you come out really refreshed. I think that's worth the battle. Worth the battle, Murray. So don't let them grind you down, Chuck.
I won't.
Okay, you get out there again, and that garden will come up better next year. You prove to these scum that you'll not be knocked back. Okay, Chuck?
Bye, darling.
All the best, Maureen.
Bye.
Take care. Isn't that scandalous? I mean, see what? If you're listening, you little wicked half-wits, I don't know, I despair about you. But someday, you see, what'll happen with some of these punks is that they'll find somebody, they'll settle down. A lot of them, this sort of criminal life lasts about 12 years on average. Then they settle down in the 20s and stuff like that. And of course, suddenly they'll find somebody who'll damage their garden, somebody who'll pinch their car that they've worked hard for, or vandalise it, or punch their kids out. And they'll wonder, what's the world coming to? And of course, they're going to realise that they helped create it. We've got to smack them. Smack them now. Got to smack them hard now. They're not worth a light. Joanna!
Hello, Meg. I want to know what you think about teenage pregnancies.
I've never caused one. I'll tell you that now. I keep my legs together. I think it's stupid. I think the girl is stupid who gets pregnant. I think totally stupid. She's got a life ahead of her. And I think the lad is allowed too much to be a Jack the lad and not face up to his responsibilities. And that's a disgrace. And I think we end up producing children who haven't got a father figure, will end up possibly going delinquent.
Because I'm one.
You're one?
And so's my friend as well.
And how old are you?
16.
16. 16. Why did you get pregnant?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't plan it.
You didn't plan it?
No.
You're at school?
Yeah.
Did you have any family planning?
No.
You weren't taught about where the birds and the bees? You weren't taught where babies come from?
No.
You didn't know?
Oh, I knew.
Rumpy Pumpy could lead to babies?
Aye.
And had you heard about contraception?
Uh-huh.
Right, condoms.
Aye.
And how about, did you know that during your menstrual cycle it's possibly difficult to conceive? Did you know about the rhythm method?
No.
Did you know about the birth pill?
No.
You did?
I knew about the pill, aye.
You knew, and were you on the pill?
No.
Why not?
Because I didn't think I could get pregnant.
You didn't think you could get pregnant?
No.
Why couldn't you get pregnant?
I don't know.
What? Well,
It's just because my cousin couldn't have babies, and I thought it would pass down to me. And
And where did your mother? Did your mother not tell you anything?
nah.
Ah, God. So your mother didn't bother to tell you about sex?
Well, when I was younger, she did. Like when I was about 12, 13.
Mm-hmm. And what did she say?
Well, you know, what happens?
Mm-hmm. And you didn't believe her?
No.
You're a half-wit. You're a half-wit. Yeah, I can't believe it's 1995. There were lasses were cleverer than you. In 1895, they knew what happened.
But I've been with him for 5 years.
You've been with
And we're living together now, and we're engaged.
Oh, so he's sticking by you?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's one good thing that come out of it, if nothing else. That he's sticking by you, that he's at least been a man, and he accepts the fact that he's the dad, and that he's got responsibilities as a father. So he's older than you.
Uh-huh.
Is he working?
No.
No. So you're on, again, you say you're on social services, aren't you?
Social Security.
Social Security.
Well, he was working, but he got made redundant.
Well, that happens. That does happen.
Mhm.
Well, I think you, teenage mothers, no. In fact, I think eventually we're going to have to stop them. We're going to have to say abortions. Get rid of them. Because we can't afford them as a country. We can't afford more children. You know, that's a worry. It's the problem. We've got a big problem here. You know, and I just think it's sad. That you've got a life. You hope that you two can. Well, you're a bit rare. You maybe can get a life going together. That's wonderful. That'd be great. So the kid's got two parents, a mum and a dad, who love him and bring that, or love her. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, and bring them up as good kids. But unfortunately, there's a pile of teenagers out there who haven't got a father.
Well, I go to a school that's like got loads of teenage pregnancies and all that. And
loads?
Like, well, you know, 20
20? What's the teachers doing? What sort of school is it?
It's a school for mothers and babies. Teenage mothers and babies.
What? Good. Like a finishing school. After you've been done, you're finished.
Aye.
Oh, God. I've never heard anything like it. I've never heard anything like it. So it's too late. I suppose they don't teach you sex education then.
No.
No, it's waste of time, isn't it, really? You know, God almighty. Well, that's a new one on me. That's a new one on me. So now, do you know how to look after the bairn? Really?
Yeah.
And are you going to have any more?
No. I've took like precautions this time.
You've took precautions this time?
I've got the implant.
So you know where they come from now? It's a bit late though, isn't it?
Aye.
I mean, say, would you prefer not to have had a baby?
Oh, no.
Hey?
No.
You're glad you've had a baby? Well, and what about your cousin? She's glad she's had a baby.
Aye.
Has she still got the father with her?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's one good thing. And your family's sticking by you. Well, I hope it all works out for you, okay? But I still believe teenagers shouldn't have babies. It's too young. It's too young. You're just a bairn yourself. You're not able to see the whole picture. Yeah, even when you're about 25, some people are not ready to have bairns. But 16, 15, 16... how much older is he to you?
Who?
The father?
18.
He's 18, just a couple of years older. God almighty, it's the blind leading the blind. Best of luck, Joanne, best of luck.
Holidays to Benidorm and Mallorca next summer cost as little as £129 a person when you book direct with us. Call 01740 650 530 now.
Now here's the thing. File this away under fascinating fact to be whipped out at posh cocktail party to impress Lady Marjorie. For as the bewigged flunky proffers thee a flute of milk stout and a truffle, just let drop. Did one know that 48% of the UK population are ABC1 adults, and so are 48% of commercial radio listeners? All conversation will cease. Good gracious, your name here, says Lady Marge, dropping her canopy. Are you telling me the audience for commercial radio is more upmarket than I perceived? Too ruddy retold, love, quips thou. Nearly half of 'em is as well brung up as thee and me. And by the way, does your string quartet know any Chasm Dave numbers?
10 miles of mud, sweat and tears in the new View From Vanguard all-terrain shoe. The Vanguard, the ultimate all-terrain shoe, designed by View From, engineered by Brooks, now at your nearest foothold store. The Vanguard all-terrain shoe by View From, for people who are hard to follow.
The Reach Out Tour comes to the Northeast. Relive those unforgettable Motown memories and melodies with the show that brings the heart and soul of Detroit alive. This outstanding musical features a cast of 10, including Soul House and Florida's sweetheart Sinead May, and all your favorite songs from Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, The Fortunes, Edwin Starr, and many more are recreated in this stunning extravaganza. The tour is at 9 venues across the Northeast throughout September. For details of the one nearest to you, call the AIR box office on Spennymoor 814-632. That's Spennymoor 814-632, 24 hours a day, and you get ready to reach out.
Calls to Mike the Mouth are totally free of charge. 0500 100 102. Wherever you are, it's a free call to Century. Call Mike Elliott 0500 100 102.
Hey, Eva.
Hello, Mike.
Well, hello.
I never intended phoning you tonight, but I've been concerned about that man.
What man?
Abroad, you know, the one that the hostage.
Well, yes, Keith
Very
Mangan.
good. And another thing, I never intended, because I spoke to you on Thursday night, and I don't want to be a blinking nuisance to you.
No, you're not a nuisance.
But listen, Margie, my friend, and I heard that today, and we were both very disgusted. I don't want to say very much about it, Mike, but I think it's terrible, and I think it was in very bad taste. We were deprived, the public were deprived of the pleasure of your company for nearly a fortnight.
Well,
So that woman.
Well, it was
I know.
actually.
I thought it was all finished with, Mike.
No, there's another woman, another two, I think, who did all the letter writing. I know who they are, but I'm not allowed to say the names.
No, it's terrible.
But,
and I'll tell
free
you.
country, she's entitled to complain. I always say, complain to me. But we have people who are sneaks, and that's
Well,
sad.
listen, Mike, I waited up when the carry-on was on. I weighed the whole situation up of your position there. And I didn't think all that much. You didn't get all that much back in either. I mean, I just waited up. I'm not far wrong, you know. It's a case of I'm all right, Jack. That's the motto in the world today, isn't it?
Well,
You say somebody that's different, somebody that's honest. You made a slip up. I know it shouldn't have been, but at the same time, I listen to the other things, and it's even worse, and the television's even worse. Why have they made such a big deal of it, and why have you...
I don't know.
Why have you to be the sufferer in that?
Well, they've got their
She should
rules.
have had that to pay. She's the one.
Well, I don't. I'm sorry.
Listen, if she's got any conscience, and she'll listen. It's funny how the Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't like to wish harm on anybody, but for a fortnight, people who are disabled and everything were very sad and miserable on account of you not being on. Did they never study things like that when they're on about you?
Well, I'm afraid there are people who believe in this world that they've got every right to complain, which they have, but also in a sense that if I don't like it, then I want it off the air and nobody else should have it.
Well, I know you don't want to talk about
And
it, but
that's
I
sad.
just couldn't
But
be
there you
just
are.
coming on.
But the fine will be paid, and didn't like that word, and therefore it will be done.
Load of rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. Look at the bad language that's used all over now. I know that it's a pity I hadn't just thumbed her off that night.
Well, sometimes, Eva, I keep sick of saying I am a very emotional person, and I can
So
get
am I.
if I get annoyed. And she was theft.
cannot
What she
help
was
it.
doing was stealing off the people. She was stealing off poor people.
Of course
but,
she was.
But you see, I'm not allowed to
It's
say
very
it.
difficult, and I don't want to put you to any...
No.
And I just
Well-
want to say that, don't worry, we heard it.
Well, all the people they've got to write into the radio authority and say that they were wrong. But
A
that's up
load
to them.
of nonsense, and I think, you know, I tell you something, there's a lot of jealousy behind it on your thing as well. I thought that all along. But
Well,
never
I
mind,
don't know
Mike,
anything
you
about
still
that
come-
either. I'm still here, Chuck.
Oh, yes, and you still come up to him. Anyway, I didn't want to come on, but I just thought I'd give me 10 cents worth in to let you know that we both listen to it. Margie was just a shock because she listens to you every night as well.
Thanks, Eva.
And, well, you're welcome, Mike, but as I say, I feel very strongly about it because, as I say, you should have had backing from everybody in that studio.
Mm.
Should have backed you, but they didn't, did they?
Well, it did in a way.
Well,
It did.
in a way, in a
It did.
half-hearted way.
It
I
did.
don't like that. You either got a friend or you haven't got a friend.
Little Rod was there.
I like Rod.
He was there.
But there's a few sneaks there and all.
Oh, well, you always get sneaks all out. But they're all right. The thing is, now, I'll tell you this, he's a surprise. He's a surprise. Two of the main women who wrote in complaining, they'll be listening to me now. They'll always listen.
I hope
so,
they are.
what do you say about that? If they hate me that much, why do they keep listening?
Well, this is it. But anyway, the one that did the damage, well, I don't think she'll get much satisfaction out of it myself.
Well, she's entitled to do what she wants. I'll not snoop. I'll not give her name up because I'm not that sort of person.
You're not that type. You wouldn't call it another one that was putting a dig in you. That's what we like about you. You wouldn't do that. You don't call people you.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Just the baddies. Just the baddies.
Anyway, I'll ring off Mike, but as I say, I never intended phoning tonight.
That's all right, Eva.
But just let you know that we thought about you. And good night.
Good
and
night.
God bless.
And God bless to you, Chuck.
Bye-bye. Bye, mate.
Bye, Eva. Who's that now? Nora.
Hello, Mike.
Hiya, Nora.
There was a chap about 4 calls back and asked what the seaside resorts were in the northeast.
Yes.
You remember? You started in Redcar and worked up the coast.
Yep.
And you missed out the top seaside resort in the area.
What's
you
that?
You went from Seaburn to Whitley Bay and completely missed out South Shields.
South Shields hasn't got a beach.
Oh, come off it. Now
It hasn't got a beach. Oh,
Get
wait.
away.
It's
You've got the Blue Flag here, the best beach in the area. And the North Sunbury... Well,
That's
hang
what
on.
you bought it yourselves, I heard, down at Shields.
Hang
In fact, I think I heard you pinched it from Roker.
Now, the Northumbria Tourist Board figures South Shields are the highest number of visitors of any of the resorts in the area.
Because people couldn't believe it. They keep going back and saying, I don't believe
I think
this.
you need smacking for missing out
How
South Shields.
dare you, madam?
Smack
I was talking about Major's beaches. So Seaburn and Roker, beautiful sands.
Yeah, but...
Redcar, but I mean, there's not much of a beach at Shields, is there?
Of course there is. You've never been down,
Who is it?
obviously.
I've been down, but I haven't seen much of a beach.
Oh, it's one of the top resorts in the area.
Well, it's just, there's a fun fair. There's the fun fair there, but now Tymon's got a long beach and Whitley Bay's got a long beach.
Oh, Whitley Bay has gone right down.
Has it?
Yeah, as a resort.
Well, I think so as well. I think it's just become a place where people can go and get drunk
Exactly.
and spill out on the streets
Yeah.
and act like
And they've
animals, like
it used to be
drunken
lovely.
scum.
Whitley Bay used to be lovely years ago, but people are frightened to go there now.
Well, this is it. You see, it's a working class. All the working class are gone and get drunk.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. When it was nice, it was middle class there. It was okay.
Yeah, but anyway, don't you miss out South Shields. And you'd be welcome to come down and view South Shields and the facilities anytime.
I'm coming down next Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Aye.
Oh, for the run.
I'm going to smack them all in. I'm going to smack every one of
You're
them.
going to be at the Lees at the finishing, are you?
I'll be at the finish.
Yeah, that's on the Lees.
I'll be there in my shorts.
Oh, great. We'll have to watch out for you.
In the shorts. I may do the marathon myself. I don't know.
Oh, well, have a go at it.
Oh, well, I know it's okay. I mean, it's
Because
easy
South
enough, I think.
Shields, it'll be packed out next weekend.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be. Especially when they know I'm coming.
Absolutely.
So there'll be, well, if I've got to keep out the way, so when the runners come in first, they get some recognition. Otherwise, everybody will be following me. But I'll be there on, I forget what time, and then I'm going to bring on my mates Lindisfarne, and they're going to play a bit of songs.
Where? Down here?
Aye.
Are they? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So there you are. Then
Well,
that's
I'm always down
courtesy
there,
of
that's a
Century. Because Century Radio are the official broadcasters for the Great North
Oh,
West.
are they? Ah,
So
well,
there'll be lots down there. There'll be that.
you'll have all the gear down there on Sunday.
Oh, there'll be a big stage. There'll be all the presenters from Century will be down there. It'll be wonderful down there.
Oh,
And then I'll come in and obviously smack them. I'll probably arrive by helicopter. I don't know yet.
And if it's a day like today, it'll be wonderful.
Well, I don't know, but I hope it rains because I hate. I think all these runners are daft. But there you go. That's now to do with me. You okay?
Well, okay. Well, you put South Shields on the map.
I'll put South Shields on the map. It certainly will. I'll put it in Bosnia. There we go. South Shields. Well, she's defending the right there. South Shields indeed. Stephen.
Hello.
Hiya, Stephen.
I'm just phoning up. I'm only phoning the show because my sister listens to it, Lisa from Fenham, and she said that was a good show to talk about. But what I want to talk about you is the level of violence in the northeast. And well, at first I should point out that I'm gay, and me and the person I live with go out quite often on the gay scene, but sometimes we decide to go on the straight scene. And a couple of weeks ago, we went out on a Friday night. We just went to a mixed pub, which is on Westgate Road. I'm not going to name the pub.
Don't name the pub.
Right, but we went to a pub, and we just went in and had a quiet drink, and it's got a mixed clientele in there. It's not just gay and it's not just straight. It's a mixed community. And all of a sudden, these three young lads between the age of 20 and 25 burst in and just sort of looked around the pub, surveyed the place, and started laughing. And then they went out again. So, the person I was with and the two friends were with, there was two women friends there as well. We just thought nothing of it because they looked indiscriminately around and just started laughing. So we thought, oh, it's just some fool's playing a joke. But then when we went to go home, these three lads, the three youths, were still outside. And we just walked past them, but they wouldn't let us past. Now, the road was quite busy with people waiting for a bus to go home, and plus there was a kebab shop near, a takeaway things, and that was quite busy. Now, we just tried to pass them, they wouldn't let us past. And when we started to press them to get past, one of them brought out a truncheon from his Dr. Martin.
Just hang tight a minute, Steve. I'm going to have to leave you there. Don't hang up, because I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Right.
I've got to take the news. 0500 100 102. The show of shows on the station Century. Broadcasting, hitting you with the big words. 100 to 102 firm.
From the Northeast's biggest radio station, this is Century News.
The 11 o'clock news, this is Anne-Marie Minhall. NATO has unleashed 13 Tomahawk missiles at Serb targets in Banja Luka in northwest Bosnia. They were fired from a US Navy ship in the Adriatic. The attacks are part of the campaign to force Serbs to withdraw their heavy weapons from around Sarajevo. Captain Jim Mitchell, NATO spokesman in Naples, says they were targeting important Serb sites.
We're aiming at various elements of that air defense system around Banja Luka. I wouldn't want to be any more specific than that now. We're going to be doing the assessment over the next few hours to see how this mission has gone.
Our reporter Ian Glover-James is in the Serb stronghold of Pale.
There's no doubt that the Bosnian Serb leadership and the people here will see it as a quite devastating escalation. For nearly a week now, they've been bombed every day by everything that NATO can throw at them. We've heard planes roaring overhead, air raid sirens going, and now they're hearing the news tonight that they're having missiles fired at them.
Loyalists have been injured in an attack on an orange parade in County Antrim. RUC officers were also hurt when a large crowd became violent as marchers reached the centre of Dunloy after a church service. Police searching for the missing daughter of a NATO engineer have found a body in Norfolk. 18-year-old Rachel Lean disappeared from her home in Buxton 5 days ago. Her father flew home from his base in Italy on Thursday to join the search. Sergeant John Smith of Norfolk Police says the body was found in undergrowth.
Officers conducting a search for the missing girl, Rachel Lean, discovered a body on the north side of the perimeter fence of RAF Coltershall. At present, the scene and the body's been examined by the scene of crime officers.
In sport, Damon Hill has been threatened with a one-race ban after colliding with Michael Schumacher in the Italian Grand Prix. If he breaks the rules in his next race in Portugal, Hill will be out of the following one. Independent Radio News.
Northeast weather.
With Northern Electric, the North's leading energy company.
Well, it's a cloudy night throughout God's country, and there's a chance of showers scattered all over the lovely allotment. And it's overnight low, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, well, much the same, sadly. It's cloudy, there's chance of showers, some sunny spells, top temperature, 60 degrees Fahrenheit at Plains Farm Estate, and, of course, here at 100, 102 FM.
Century.
This is the Mike Elliott Late Night Phone-In, live and exclusive across the Northeast. Call Mike Elliott free on 0500 100 102. The Mike Elliott Phone-In live on Century.
Yo, Stephen, take me now.
Hello.
Yeah,
so
right.
Just saying that we came at this pub and that was a crowded street. There was loads of people from the takeaway coming, and there was loads of people waiting for the bus home. And this lad drew a truncheon from his Dr. Martin boot and started brandishing it. Now, one of the other lads who was with had an empty bottle as well, and we didn't want any trouble, so we said, well, let her pass. And yeah, there was me and the person who I live with, and these two lasses, one was an auntie and one was a niece, and the lasses tried to get past, but they wouldn't let the lasses past. So we tried to pass, and all of a sudden, like, to cut a long story short, the sort of like lunged that way, and these two lasses, like, one scene we were getting like into a fight with them. One of the lasses tried to like sort of break it up, and he just like smacked over the head with a truncheon. And the point I'm making is like they wouldn't go and do this in the big market where there's like a lot of like the street activity, you know. I mean, these are obviously three straight youths, and they come to the gay community looking for trouble, obviously. And I'm just thinking that, like, do you not think that, like, obviously that this community is getting targeted or not?
Well, gays, like every other minority throughout history, have been targeted. Be it the Jews, be it the Gypsies, be it communists, be it trade unionists, be it whatever. You know, they've always been a minority. Now, there are some people who could argue, you know, that these three guys are probably nearer to being gay than they probably care to admit. Why do they want to hang around the gay community and hit? You know, sometimes you hit out at things because you're possibly closer to it than you really care to admit. So maybe one of them may well be gay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or that way inclined. The violence, it's.
But we had to take this girl to the hospital because, like, he smacked this girl over the head with a truncheon, and like she's still suffering after effects now about a fortnight later.
Of course,
you know.
Of course, the smack on the head with a truncheon. What happened to these scum? Did they get away?
Well, we phoned the police, but by the time they got there, like, with it being a Friday night, they were obviously quite busy.
Yeah.
And by the time they got there, like, they had like fled and they were away, you know. But this girl who it happened to, she lost vision for like a few minutes and everything, you know.
Surprised. It's the worry is that. They will get more confident, and obviously the real worry is that they'll kill somebody.
But I think maybe it's like what it is like they're rejected on the street scene, you know. They're like not accepted because they're not like man enough. So they sort of think, oh well, we'll prove we're men. We'll go and beat up a few gays.
Well, that's gay bashing for whatever reason, and the same as packy bashing or whatever, has always been around. And you've got to ask yourself, why do they do it? Now, there's no logic to why they do it. You know. It's if you even ask them, well, because the puffs. So what? I mean, did they bother you? Did he fondle? No, just puffs.
Right.
So like, you're not going to get any sense out of them because they haven't got really many grey cells in their brain that can actually rationalise and put.
Like I said though, like my sister Lisa from Funham, and she's like, she wants to add a point. Is that okay or not?
Hey?
Like I said, my sister's Lisa from Funham, and she wants to add a point to the situation. Is that okay?
Aye, hurry up, man.
Hi, mate.
Hi, Lisa.
I was just ringing in to see. I think it's shocking what's happened to them. I mean, people should be allowed to live their own life. You know what I mean? Do what they want to do.
The hope is that one day these three tough guys will meet three gay guys who.
Smack them about the head, aye. But the thing is, though, Ian, I mean, I've seen Ian, Mike, the guys that did it, they did it to a lass that was innocent. I mean, she's not even gay. She was just out for a drink with two gay lads, and she decided to.
I know the boy that you're talking about, and as you quite rightly say, it could be half gay, half straight.
Well,
so
it is.
There's no guarantee
that
the people were gay. And you know, there's no way, you know. Some of these would probably like you to walk around with a pink P on your forehead, so that they tell. But there's no logic to them. They just want to show off. They're a bit tough, as your brother said. They wouldn't dare do it anywhere else.
Action, weren't they? You know
but they'll pick the weakest, or these idiots actually believe that homosexuals are all effete and sissy and cowardly. The fact of the matter is that. You know, I had a mate who was gay, who was quite a hard lad, very hard. And
well, my brother's not soft. He did hold his own, but there was three of them. You know what I mean? What could he do?
Well, that's it. The
two lasses, he had to defend the lasses. He was more worried about them than anything else.
But he's got to accept the fact that could have happened to straight people coming out of that bar. It could happen. There's these idiots. They're not bothered really. The gays that went for got a bit easy. They think that's easy.
I mean, he come away with black eyes, with big swollen parts all over the place and everything.
The Pakistani community and the Bangladeshi community could tell you the same stories.
Aye.
These idiots going up there and thinking how tough we are. You know, pick on the minority. Bullies. It's a bully mentality. Take one of them by themselves. If your brother was to spot one of them out in the street by himself and confront him, you know, there'd be a smell emanating from his shreddies that would probably block the whole of Pilgrim Street. So these are not very brave people. You know, you ask them to stand up and be counted, and they don't. And luckily, you know, thank God they're not in the army, because they wouldn't even get in the army, because they're cowards.
Aye, I know.
You know. Okay.
Right. Can I say hello to Ray first? Before I go? Right. Hello, Ray and Diabold, and I love you very, very much. And Mike, we've been having a good drink tonight, you know, for our first time in ages. I've actually got a drink down us.
Good for you, good
I know.
for you. I think that's important
to
do these things. Okay, then I'm off. I'm off ski. Ray, you got the message through. It's 0500 100 102. Freebie calls, you can't go wrong. It's all the cheapest in the world, and it's on Century 100 to 102 FM. I'll just have a little glug with the oh God, that is so nice. I've got to thank Amanda down in where was she, in Driffield in Yorkshire. Thank you for the paperweight. She was on. She said she made paperweight, and it's a dozen paperweight with Century right the way through it. So thanks, Amanda. I also got to Liz Burden. I wonder if Liz Burden's listening. Are you there, Liz? Because John said I should say hello to you because you'd fall off the chair. Well, Liz, I hope you haven't fallen off the chair. And also Kevin and David Fisher. I wonder if they're listening. And Ian and Richard Scott. Because talking to people and they said mention them. So, well, of course I'll mention them. Why not? Because we all met. I was at Chiltern Moor Country Club on Friday at dinner for Brandon United Football Club. Grand night, thanks for the hospitality, and Bobby Kerr, the manager down there. Great meal, great stuff. So I've got to say thanks for that. And also I went back to see Shooting the Legend again, Tim Healy and Denise Welsh. Great. I tell you, if you haven't got in, tickets are going to be hard to come by. I would grab the opportunity to get yourself down there to see Shooting the Legend. It's just a knockout. It's a live theatre production at the Theatre Royal. And actually, Live Theatre got another one coming up, which I'm going to want to see. Cabaret. They're going to do Cabaret. I'll tell you more about that later on. Anyway, there we are. This Burden, Kevin and David Fisher, Ian and Richard Scott, and all the staff and everybody at Chiltern Moor Social Club and Brandon United Football Club. Hope you have a good season this year, you know. Good season. Let's talk to this last Dorothy.
Hello.
Hiya, Dorothy.
Hello, Mike. I'm a first-time caller, so forgive me, I'm a little nervous. It's just a little light-hearted humour about how people can assume things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a foster mum. I'm also a registered childminder and have been for 19 years.
Right.
And I had 4 children, and 2 were Chinese children, 2 was a little Indian boy, and my own son, who was very, very blonde. And I had 2 children in a twin buggy, and the other 2 holding on either side was taking them out one day. And 2 older ladies were coming along the road and towards me, and I could see their faces tut-tutting and looking, and I thought, I know exactly what's going through your mind. And as they went past, I just turned my head around and glanced at them, and they had glanced back at the same time, and I just said, well, I'm very sociable.
That's it. Is that a Chinese?
And well, they didn't know me from Adam, I presume, so they just supposed the 4 children were mine, 2 dark children, 1 dark child, 1 blonde child, and 2 Chinese children.
You'll have made their day. They'll have probably got home or back to the home quicker than they've ever did. Got a sweat on to spread the gossip about this floozy that they bumped into with children from all over the planet, all colours, and she was brazen. She didn't even cover them with a cloth. Brazen woman walking down the street with bands from every hue. She's obviously been off with sailors from South Shields.
Well, it made my day because it's been my story for the last 10 years.
Well, I think it's I love it when people cop the wrong end of the stick and things like that, because you can't see the faces.
It's just as they went past, I had this urge to turn around because I just knew they were looking, you know. I could feel her staring me back. And I turned around, and I just don't know how I said cheeky, I just said it. So very sociable.
You should have said there's another 6 back home.
Well, look, probably would have been if she'd come later in the week.
I haven't brought the Polynesian ones out. and the Arabs. I tell you, they would have galloped back home. Them old biddies, they would have got there, they spread the news all over the streets.
But it's just how people can assume things. You know, if there's something going on and they look, they just assume things are as they see them. They don't think there's anything else behind it.
By the time they tell the stories, one of the bands would have a bone through our nose. You know, they would have gone, and then, because everybody embellishes gossips, and they're just going, oh, no, this is the stupidity about this kind of racism and stuff like that. You can make it up into such a stupid place, and stupid stories, and people still believe them.
Well, I mean, it was so innocent. I was just looking after them. Their mums were at work and etc. My own little boy was as blonde, you know, and sitting next to a coloured little boy, and then a Chinese child either side who I love dearly. You know, the love was shared out equally.
There's 3 fathers that we know of.
Could have been 4. The Chinese had different fathers.
Oh, God, I tell you. I know, but they would have made it all up anywhere they liked, any colour, and she had no shame.
Well,
in fact, she looked back at us and said, I'm very sociable. Didn't she, Betty? Very sociable. She did say that, very sociable.
I did. I turned out and said that.
Well,
I took great pleasure in saying it as well. I felt guilty afterwards.
OK, Dad, thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Take care. Welcome to the show.
Bye-bye.
Well. Welcome into the show there, Rosina.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Rosina.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to know, why do you think that all teenage pregnancies should end up in abortions?
No. See, people listen and they never listen. What I said was it may well come too. That's going to happen. That you've got a government now who are wanting to withdraw all money from single mothers. Okay, so there's a definite attitude about single mothers. And because we've got this problem, what they conceive a big epidemic problem, that they may well start saying, we can't afford this. This has got, there's nothing going to be done. And if you can't guarantee to look after this child yourself, then you better get an abortion. If you remember, John Redwood just a few weeks ago, if you remember, actually came out. Now remember, this man could have been the leader of the Conservative Party, came out and said that young single mothers' children should be put up for adoption.
I know, but
you see, so there are people thinking these things who have got the power actually to bring them about.
Yeah, but do you think everyone should have their own right and to choose what they want to do?
Well, you see, what sort of... You haven't got that. It's this myth that you've got some kind of rights to do whatever you want to do.
Well, they had the right. They had the right to actually do it in the first place, and fall pregnant.
Well, unfortunately, it's the easiest thing to do, isn't it? Rumpy pumpy. It's a wonderful, pleasurable activity. But we've just had a girl on who swore down that she didn't know what was out of... She didn't think she'd get pregnant. This is 1990s.
Yeah,
exactly. we cannot afford that sort of ignorance.
I know, it just seems such a pity that you got a negative attitude about it.
Who?
You.
What do you mean, a negative attitude? I think a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, 17 is too young to have a baby. I think there's a life out there that they deserve to have a chance to lead and get involved in and do something more with it. Right? I think, and also the bottom line is, sooner or later, we end up, the taxpayer, pays for it. Now, I don't do anything in my life if I can't afford it.
Yeah, but that's not always the case. I mean, you know what I mean? I was 16 when I had my little boy, and to give you, a bit of incentive, it might make you feel a bit better about the whole situation. I mean, I'm 19 now. I'm happily married and have been for 3 years.
Good.
You know what I mean? It doesn't always end up in that situation.
And you both, and the father's working.
Yeah.
So that's good. There's a good start, and you got your family backed you.
Yes, I have.
Right. Now, what about all the ones where they don't get any backing, where the father disappears off, and then the state, us, all of us, have got to then contribute to this child? Now, this is a problem that is growing more and more, and it's costing millions of pounds, and people are getting annoyed. I mean, I got suspended for for some of this malarkey, but there are people out there who need money, who are getting denied it, and there are people out there who are taking the eyes out the system, and a lot of them, sadly, are single mothers.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have your views as well.
What do you mean?
I mean, a lot of people, you all like saying taxpayers pay for this and, for the separate mothers. Yeah, but they pay for a lot of other crap as well.
What do you mean, what other crap? What other crap we're talking about?
Taxpayers, you pay for more.
We've got
loads of millions.
We've got the mad system in this country at the minute of a girl, say, coming out of school or what have you, right, and becoming pregnant and getting money from the Social Security, right, and she personally has never contributed a penny. And at the other end of the scale, we've got pensioners who've paid all their lives, who are being made to sell their houses so that they can go into care. You know, that's a mad word. It's a mad way to deal with money and deal with people. And the bottom line is, the pensioners, you can't stop getting old, and you do need more care when you get older. But young girls of 16 and 15 or younger or 17 should not be getting pregnant unless they can guarantee that they can financially care for that child.
Well, and that's like saying people on Social Security shouldn't plan and have another baby because they're still sponging off, the government.
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, what sort? Do you buy a car if you can't afford it? If you can't afford the payments, would you buy a car?
No.
No. Yet you'll blithely go out and talk about, say, have a child, the most precious thing that you bring into this world, a child who should have the best start. And you expect no problems. Just have a bairn. Rumpy pumpy, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but people do. People that can't afford
Well, they've got to stop it.
Children. But
They've got to stop it. Then therefore, society will have to make them stop it. They can do it in various ways.
Exactly, and that's never going to happen.
Well,
there's always going to be.
Well, I'll tell you what. If society decides that no single mother should get any money, what are we going to do with these girls? I don't believe a girl has got any right, because she's 15 or 16. How can a girl in 1995 still get pregnant by mistake?
No, I agree with you on the money situation. I mean, some girls just do it for the sake of getting their own money or escape from home or something like that. But I just want you to know that it does work out. It's not all negative.
Hey, look, like that other girl I said before, you've said the same thing. Wonderful. The father took the responsibility and you're both together. That's great. That's what I want. I want the father there. It's not just money I've been arguing about. It's father's responsibility. I don't want to see boys just making girls pregnant and then walk off and then make somebody else pregnant.
Well, that's great.
Right? Though that's what happens. So we've got to get some realism in.
It does happen, but
we've got family. I had a girl on here who didn't even know where the Social Security got the money from. She just thought it happened. It just appeared. It's just a wonderful thing.
That's their poor, it's the kids' misfortune. They haven't been told about it.
Well, I'm afraid it's 1995, and we've got to either sort them out and get them a brain. If they're brain dead, then they shouldn't be having kids.
It's never going to happen, though, is it?
Well, it's something that'll happen because people are getting heartily sick of it.
It's been happening for years, though, hasn't it?
Well, it's happening. We have not had so many. One time it was classed as a stigma for a girl to have a child, not without being married.
Oh yeah.
Now it doesn't. Nobody seems to worry about it. I can live with that. I can live with a 16-year-old having a baby. I can live with that, providing the finances are in place to look after that baby, whether it comes from her parents or this father or the father's family. I'm not bothered, providing it doesn't come out of me.
I know, but...
That's all I'm saying. And I would want that money to go somewhere else. And I'm saying, don't have babies if you can't afford them. And I would say that to 25-year-olds.
Yeah, people do, that's what I mean, not just teenagers.
Well, I'm afraid, therefore, sooner or later, we're going to have to say, I'm sorry, but you seem to spend more care on your car or your TV or video than you do on this most precious thing, a child, a life. Well, and some of them can't even bring them up properly.
It's just the way you came across. I don't know if it was just me or to other listeners. It was just the way it sounded like you think that it's just teenagers that have the children and they can't afford it, they can't give them any,
We've had them on, I'm afraid, Rosina. We've had them on. We've had single mothers on who were fiddling the thing and taking jobs and complaining they can only go out 3 nights a week. So I've went down a lot of paths here. It's cost me £3,000.
Yeah.
So you can definitely say I can get very angry on that level because I think there's injustices, and I don't like to see people create more injustices. And my worry is always for the child, and that child should be coming in with a fighting chance to have some benefits, and not to be coming in almost as because it was stupidity or as an afterthought, and the kid will never see its father.
Yeah.
That's wrong. I personally believe
it is wrong. I mean, it's
mothers
wrong.
and fathers together make up the family unit.
Yeah,
I had it.
That's a perfect world, and it's not a perfect world.
Well, I'm afraid then should we not try and aim for things? Or should we just, if we let's everybody have rumpy-pumpy. Let them rumpy-pumpy in the streets. Let them roll around. You know, even animals don't do that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. Oh, 500, 100. Ah, good. 102.
Energy-efficient windows and conservatories, fitted kitchens, insulation, electric heating, showers, and fresh air care products to combat condensation and improve air quality. Nowadays, Northern Electric's home energy services can make you comfortable and secure in your home. And because it's Northern Electric you're dealing with, you know the job will be done to the highest standards. Find out how Northern Electric can help you. Call us free today on 0800 44 0800.
Northern Electric.
Listen. Quiet, isn't it? It's always quiet at night. There's an owl. And a badger. Oh, that's a Parcel Force computer in their Wakefield depot, confirming details of express packages arriving from Reading in time for delivery to businesses by 10 a.m. Sleep tight. For details of a reliable delivery service, call Parcel Force on 0800 10 12 24, day or night.
Why book next year's Spanish holiday through a travel agent when you can book direct with us and save pounds? Call 01740 650 530 now, and you could be going to Benidorm or Mallorca next summer from as little as £129 per person. Plus, there's hundreds of free places for children. Cut out the middleman. Call 01740 650 530 now for details of great bargain holidays direct. 01740 650 530 now.
To find out more about the Fresh Air Care range of products to combat condensation and improve air quality, call Northern Electric now on free phone 0800 44 0800.
The Borough back at the Riverside, and do you remember what happened last time?
Could be the first goal of the Riverside. Squares it to Hignett! It's there! Barmy, the £5.25 million man inside the area. Jan Fiorto scores!
We'll drool over Letitia's skills. Southampton's the opposition. It's live, it's exclusive on Century, Tuesday at 7.
This is the Mike Elliott Late Night Phone-In, live and exclusive across the Northeast. Call Mike Elliott free on 0500 100 102. The Mike Elliott Phone-In live on Century.
Ah, yes, on Century. That should be a good game, eh? The Borough and Southampton stuffed it up to Newcastle at the weekend. Letitia, one of the best players in the country. You can hear it as you hear. Only on Century, 100.7 FM. And don't worry if you like the music. All you got to tune into is 101.8 and you'll get all the goodies of the music and everything else. 2 for the price of 1. 2 Centuries for the price of 1. My goodness me, how do you do it? How do you do it? Simple. Maureen, tell us.
I don't know, Mike. I just wanted to ring you. I did write to you way back in when you first started. I've moved out here from Cambridge.
Uh-huh.
And I said to you in my letter that as soon as I got a phone, I'd be in there. So I'm on the phone.
Oh, congrats. And it's free now.
Yes. From New Biggin as well. I'm used to the phone because I used to do telesales.
All right.
And, I was quite interested in the way you tried to handle that lady that night. But then, that's how old cobblers, as the saying goes. And everything that you was against to start with. I was a single mum. Got two children.
I wasn't against single mums.
No, I know you wasn't. You was on about ones that have them and live on the state. I was a single mum. I worked, plus I did have state help, which you used to get.
Yeah.
I got 2 children. One's 24 now, one's 22. Got a husband of 30.
Oh!
Number 3.
Good for you.
Number 3.
What age will number 4 be?
Well, I've been looking outside the primary school, but the language is a bit too hard to handle.
My God, aye. Well, we're not talking about bad language, because it just sends a shudder up me wallet.
Sore subject. You got your horn there?
Hey?
You got your horn there?
Oh, yes, I've got the horn.
That's all right,
for the
then.
big words.
You got the big words. And I'm overweight. So, we can start from all that lot. And I moved up here because it's lovely.
Well, you see, there you are. You can be forgiven everything when you come up here. Sadly, we've got some scumbags up here. We'd like them to leave, but we're stuck with them until we find a way to get rid of them.
Oh, I'd love to send them down to where I come from.
No, I wouldn't wish that on them. Cambridge, that's some hard estates in Cambridge. I've been on one of them. I forget the name of it now, but it's...
Well, it was actually just outside Cambridge. It's near Duxford, near the War Museum.
Oh, yeah.
On the M11, so...
Yeah, nice area.
Not as nice as up here.
Oh, no. Excuse me when I said nice area. I was just,
Too flat.
Please. Oh, yes, very flat.
Very flat.
But there's some, it's like nice.
Yeah, and I also worked on a chat line while I was down there.
Oh, what are these when the men phone you up and you pretend to be a sexy goddess?
Yeah.
And you keep them talking?
Oh, yes. I was 5'8", 32, 36, 32. Just the right measurements. In actual fact, I was 40-odd in the age. About 52 bust,
I saw some up here, man. There was one operating from Newcastle. They were all grannies. There were all these grandmothers in there with the knitting.
No, there weren't grannies there. I was surprised, actually. There's quite a few teenagers working on them. It did surprise me. It really did. That's one of the reasons I rung up. A lot of the times when you ask should we use them as a customer or a client, you used to say, well, what are you wearing? 9 times out of 10, the men were wearing their wives' clothes when their wives had gone out to whatever.
Oh, the wives are out and the men are in the kit.
That's it. That's probably why I've got a bit worried about my husband when I used to get home, actually. Just to check.
Well, we had this on a report I think it was a couple of weeks ago, that 1 in 7 men wear women's clothes, which was an enormous number to me. I was surprised at that number.
Well, it was quite an eye-opener. When you rung up, you expect them to say, oh, I've just got a bathrobe on, which 9 times out of 10 they said they had. But then when they asked you what shade of eyeshadow should they get, and lipsticks and that, it used to sort of throw me totally. It was a bit...
Well, the thing is, men can wear makeup. Why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? Have you finished with my eyeliner rod? He's a bitch. You just have it. You see the price of them pencils, they're about £5.
I know.
God. Right.
Put me off makeup totally. I don't wear makeup at all now.
Well, I see. That's what we had that as well, about tattooing your face, tattooing the makeup on.
Oh, and I've got tattoos as well.
You got tattoos? My God, you shouldn't be on this show. I don't have women with tattoos on the show. Get off. I'm not having tattooed ladies. Eleanor. Uh-huh. Hello?
Oh, you there?
No, I'm just orbiting round here, and every now and again I drop in.
It was what you said about girls having babies sort of thing, like...
Well, I do,
Yeah, well, I was one at 17.
Yeah.
I've been married 27 years now. So you can't say that it all goes wrong.
I've never said... You see, people get this... You never listen, do you?
I think I got the wrong end of the stick.
You never listen. I didn't say it all goes wrong. I think... Sadly, there are times that do with teenage pregnancies when they sadly do go wrong, because we've had a spate of children being just abandoned in the last, this year. That's a sadness.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, if you can prove to me that you can have the child, you've got the finance, you've got the security of family life, hopefully the father is taking on board their responsibilities as well. Great.
Yeah.
But
I get your drift.
Most can't. And I just... my argument is always about the child.
Yeah. The child has got to come first.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of these girls are getting... And the child is not even thought about. It's just rumpy-pumpy. And there's no excuse, really, for not to take precautions not to get pregnant.
But when you were talking to the other girl earlier on, she didn't know about precautions.
Well...
That I find unbelievable.
Well, either a mother is thick...
I'm not being funny. I find that very unbelievable.
Well, I'm afraid it does happen. And there's sex education in schools. When a girl starts onto a menstrual cycle, they get the talk.
Yeah.
There's sex education lessons. Obviously, you've got a mother who's on half-wit, who hasn't told her anything.
Exactly.
Which is worrying, because it may well be that the mother doesn't know.
I mean... When I had my child, my first one, I was 17. I didn't have a clue, I'll be honest. I didn't have a clue. but we're going back to 1968. It's 1995 now.
Well, in 1968, the pill was still relatively considered new. There wasn't a lot. You know, condoms had to be bought. You get free condoms. You go to the family clinic.
Ah, you don't now.
Yeah, now. That's what
You
I'm saying.
didn't then.
Everything is there, geared up.
Yeah.
You know, and what, the other side of the coin is safe sex. You should not be having sex with a boy without a condom on. You don't know where the lad's been and what you're going to catch.
I'm not being funny, but it wasn't that then.
No, but now we've got AIDS.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
and
look,
again,
I'm not being funny. We've always had gonorrhea and syphilis and all the rest of them.
God bless it. It's almost if you get told like you nearly jump for joy and buy a bottle of champagne. What? I've only got syphilis. Thank God for that. It's not AIDS.
No, but I mean, that was what it was like then, wasn't it?
It's almost a cause for a family celebration now, Johnny. Oh, he's just got the syphilis, you know. We thought it was AIDS, but thank the Lord.
You know what I mean, don't
Put
you?
you the gonorrhea as well, but that's how.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I
do. I
do.
knew nothing about that. Nothing at all. I knew nothing about syphilis, gonorrhea, any of the venereal diseases.
Well, I should hope that it was supposed that decent people, especially decent girls, didn't
now
go anywhere
come
near
on.
it. Even in the 60s, now.
Oh,
Everybody
come
talks
on.
about the swinging 60s, but the majority of people in the swinging 60s, you know, it wasn't rumpy-pumpy every day.
No, it wasn't.
You know, some of
Oh,
us
I
actually
wish.
some of us actually gone to work. It's very difficult to have rumpy-pumpy on the glass counter of a jeweller's shop. Let me tell you that, especially with a metronome. But I take your point. I take your point, okay?
Yeah.
Good. Gee, dear me. June.
Hiya. Well, Mike, I think we want somebody like you in Parliament.
Oh, God, I'm not corrupt enough.
No, you're not, dear. You're not. But in my days, I am 65-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And in my days, it was a stigma to have a baby out of wedlock.
Well, I'm glad there's not a stigma though, because it usually
now
it's not.
The
child was stigmatised as well.
Yes, now
and,
it's not.
was called, you know.
Now it's not. But everybody's allowed to make one mistake. But half the young girls nowadays aren't making one mistake. The girl that used to live next door but one to me had 4 babies.
4?
Yes, she had 4 babies, and one of them was spina bifida, and she left that in hospital. And one day, she said something nasty to me, and I said, put your hand over your mouth, darling, and go in and shut the door. I think I was right, in my way, but I think that girl should have had a tubes tied or something, or somebody to talk to her.
Well, it's sad.
It is sad.
Like there's the children there. She's, people can be good mothers. It's just that I don't think they should be allowed to have children when they can't afford them. And I'm afraid it's not a nasty thing to say. I think everybody should be thinking that as a child. The children are expensive. It's an expense, a child. And it's a big responsibility.
It's an awful responsibility. I've got 4 sons now. Happily, I married the father of my first child.
Mm-hmm.
He took the responsibility. I have 3 sons after that, and we've been happily married for 42 years.
Well, I think maybe these days even weddings, even marriages are maybe not going to last that long. But it's I think all I say is anybody disagrees with me, well, it can. But I think a child should have a mum and dad.
Well, I think you're right.
And if I'm wrong, then I'd like to leave this planet because I think we're going down the pan then.
Well, I think you're right, wholeheartedly right. And we want men like you in Parliament, whether you think you shouldn't be there or not. And I'll be behind you, and I'll be the lady that's standing right behind your chair.
Aye, pushing us.
Good night, Bill.
Good night there, June. Brendan.
I caught him on the spot.
Oh!
Hello.
Brendan.
All right there, mate.
Aye.
How's you going?
Not so bad.
Are you all right?
Aye.
You know what it is?
No.
I can't understand why can't you swear in the air, like?
Because there are rules and regulations that prevent it, and you've got to write the radio authority for that.
This time of night, though, how?
It's nothing to do with me, it's down with the powers that be. They make the rules, and I have got to, if you want the show, I've got to abide by their rules.
Right.
There you are, you see. Simple as that.
I just can't understand it though, you know what I mean?
Well, I cannot waste all day telling you about it neither. Tom.
Hello there, mate.
Oh.
Hello there, mate. It's the first time calling.
Well, that's canny.
Right, well, mate. Now, what it is, it's about bullying and that at school and that, right?
Yeah.
Now, I've got a Ben who's 6-year-old, right? And what annoys me more than out is that he goes to school, he's happy to go and that, but he's picked on right, left and centre, you know?
Yeah.
He's had fingers that's been fractured. He's had his shoes and socks took off by other kids so that he's got to run across a wet field.
Mm.
You know.
And what's the teachers doing about this?
Not a lot, mate. Not a lot.
Well, the teachers...
They just usually say, "Going to see the headmaster." He goes along to see the headmaster, and then we get called in, and it's usually, well, this kid's got a problem at home.
Which kid?
The kid who's dealing with all this bother, you know.
Right, have you... Well, first off, the teacher's in charge. I mean, whilst the kid is at school, in loco parentis, he is in place of the parent.
That's right.
And therefore should be doing, all the teachers should be doing all in the favour to prevent this. I think
right.
that, which would need, you should ask whether they have asked the child's parents to come down to the school to talk about the problem.
Yeah.
It may well be that this child should be referred to an educational psychologist.
Yeah.
Preferably, who should then get the biggest book on psychology and splat it off his head.
Aye. I'd agree with that, like.
But these are things that have got to be done, and if they're not doing it, then you demand it off the headmaster and the governors. That child who's the bully, their parents should be down the school and be made known what's happening and made to correct it now.
Yeah. I mean, I will ask Stoppy's mother the other day, like, you know, and she sort of said, look, you know, quite calmly, and that, she says, your son is getting very aggressive with my son again, and I wanted to stop. And all I will ask from her was a case of, well, my effing son's this and my effing son's that, you know.
Oh, well, there you are, you see, you've got to...
You're banging up against a brick wall.
Well, no, you're not. The thing is that, you know, because now we've got lots of laws with children and what have you, if they're allowing their child to be a bully,
yeah.
Right, it is more than likely that there's problems in the home, their home.
Yeah.
Okay, it may well be that they're over strict, and which means that he rebels against that over strictness and then acts out the bullying in the playground. It may well be that they're too lax, that he's totally spoilt, in which is that. It may well be that he is being violently punished himself.
Yeah.
You know. Now, all of these things should be emanating your complaint to the school, and make sure it goes into the school and say, look, you are in charge of my child. I am giving you one of the greatest gifts a parent can give any stranger is my children's life here.
Yeah.
And you're in charge while they're in that school, and I don't want any more bullying, and you better make damn sure it doesn't happen. Yeah. Now, you say to the headmaster, either you get this child sorted out by the parents, laid down with the parents, or demand that social workers be brought in, because bullying is not something in the main that children are born with, unless there's possibly a mental problem there.
Yeah.
And if this kid hasn't got a mental problem, then it's something in the home.
Yeah.
And that's where this head and the should be happening. Educational psychologists maybe want to be referred to.
Yeah. What I thought about Dean actually was saying to him, like, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not going to get this sorted out, the Ben is staying off school until such times as the education authorities get involved and get something done with this kid.
I wouldn't. Yeah. That point is a bit drastic. I think you've got to try and work the system as much as possible. But you must put the pressure on them and start demanding social workers. These parents need to be looked at because something is going radically wrong in this child's life.
Right.
That's what bullying's all about. Yeah. Radically wrong. Yeah. You've got to feel, in a sense, sorry for the kid.
Yeah.
Because they're a bully. There's something wrong there.
That's it.
And it may well be they get no love, they got no discipline, they got no respect at home. Yeah. They get overly strict, or they're getting beaten themselves, or there's a violent family. I'm saying it may well be the father's beating up on the mother, and the kid's seeing this. Getting all the wrong vibes, and what he needs basically, I've always believed a bully is a shout for attention.
Yeah.
To shout, please look at me. The need to be noticed and seen. So I think the kids got psychiatric problems, and therefore the schools should be onto it now. So push them, okay?
All right.
And keep us informed.
I will do, mate.
Cheers, Tom. 0500 100 102.
Holidays to Benidorm and Mallorca next summer cost as little as £129 a person when you book direct with us. Call 01740 650 530 now.
Last year, all display advertising grew by 10%, but advertising on commercial radio grew by a massive 24%, which is why commercial radio was the fastest growing advertising medium in 1994. But does the story end there, Arbuthnot? Does Goldilocks steal porridge? It was also the fastest growing advertising medium in 1993, and so far this year, it's on course for third time on trot. So, just spare a thought for all those poor display advertising space salesmen not hitting their targets and not getting their commission. Talk about being kicked when you're down. Well, you have to feel sorry for them, don't you? It's the eyes, isn't it?
The View from Villanova shoe for people who think one sport isn't enough. The Villanova, the first cross-trainer for runners, designed by Viewfrom, engineered by Brooks, now at your nearest Foothold store. The Villanova multi-session shoe by Viewfrom, for people who are hard to follow.
The Century Business Update keeps you in the know about business developments around the world and in the Northeast. Every morning at 8 and in Century 21 News, we'll keep you abreast of an ever-changing world in finance, property, money matters and stocks and shares. The Century Business Update with Sunderland Enterprise Park, another initiative by the Tyne and Wear Development Corporation.
Hello, Tony Fisher here. Watch out for Profession Confessions on the afternoon show. All you've got to do is work out what a star's former profession was, and you could win £100 in cash with Jobs Northeast, the jobs newspaper across Tyneside and Teesside. Get your copy today and you'll find various clues in there. And listen out to the afternoon show on Century, and you could be a winner with Profession Confessions, only on Century.
This is the Mike Elliott Late Night Phone-In, live and exclusive across the Northeast. Call Mike Elliott free on 0500 100 102. The Mike Elliott Phone-In, live on Century.
£6, he just dropped it in. Hey, that's taxi driver's amazing. Tell her, did you thank him? £6. Just a minute, yeah. 2,000. 2,782. Pauline.
Hello.
Hello, Pauline.
Hello, Mike. I'm a first-time caller.
Century Virgins are always welcome, my dear.
I've been listening to your show for a long time and I've had the nerve to phone up.
Well, welcome to the show. Are you going to bite me head off?
No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm 16 and a half and I thought I'd ring him about this teenage pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's disgusting. I would never even think about doing anything like that at my age.
But do you know where babies come from?
Yes, I do.
And do you know all about contraceptive education? Do you know about condoms, the pill, the safe rhythm method, the coil, the Dutch cap? You know about all them?
Yes, I know all about them, and I just think I couldn't even think about having a baby or anything like that at my age.
And at home, you know, you're okay at home?
Yes, brilliant. My parents are brilliant.
Yeah. Well, sadly, you see, there are some girls out there whose parents are not brilliant. There are some girls out there whose lives ain't that too grand, and I'm afraid some of them think that by having a baby, it may well be that there's somebody that they can that relies on them and that they can care for and what have you. And it almost becomes secondary that this is such a big thing and a big responsibility. In some cases, not all the cases, but in some cases, the need to give love and have love is more. It just takes over. So that's really bad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
You know, but it's still. You've got to turn around and say they're wrong to do it. It's not the way to bring a child into this earth.
And with them taking money like off the government and everything for houses and
well,
things
once
like
they're over 16, up before 16, they don't get a penny. Their parents have got to sort of look after it, and it's another mouth to feed. So it really should be, you know, if you can't feed another mouth, then you shouldn't bring another mouth into the family.
I know.
And you've got. You know, I think you've got to be odd. I think somebody like you's got sense enough to say that.
Yeah, and I think about all these elderly people that, you know, the houses. I watched this program. It was all about how they're getting their houses taken off them, and these people have paid taxes and things all their life, and
people like these 16-year-olds or even younger are just getting money off the government and they've just not paid a penny, as you
Well,
say.
not under 16 they don't get money, but there are people who are getting money off the government. There are lots of single mothers who deserve money, you know. Not all single mothers should be painted the same colour, you know. There are mothers who have been battered by the husbands. Husbands have run away. Their husbands have died, sadly. There are other reasons, and these deserve all the help you can get, and the kids. And, of course, all kids deserve the help. It's just that we've got to start smacking some sense into people in the sense of saying you can't afford it, don't have it. And unfortunately, we've got girls who seem to not even understand contraception, to worry.
And they've got, and they can get intelligence, and I think they should get, like, a good education before they even think about anything like this.
Well, I think some of them, of course, the mother's half-wit, and I think they're just following the family tree. Yeah. You know, possibly back up there with to hang by it and eat bananas. Thank you. Let's go to this one. Richard. No. John.
Hi, Mike.
Whoa. You blew me head off.
This money the government's going to take off the one-parent family benefit.
Oh, well, that's what they're
talking about it.
That's what they're looking at.
Uh-huh. Well,
please the Tory party conference.
I think the only one it's going to affect is people like me, who are not on income support, whose husbands died, you know.
It'll affect all single mothers, but it'll affect some in worse ways than others. Obviously.
Yeah, well, we the ones that's going to be worse off. I mean, them on income support get everything free anyway, you know?
It doesn't, if you work, and it can force mothers who are working out of work because they're better off that way. It's a madness. It doesn't actually save money. All it does is going to please the Blue Rinse Brigade at the Tory party conference. It's actually going to cost more money because the money gets moved around in other ways. So they hide it. People still have to get the money, though.
Well, you're on about government. I'm not classed as a widow. According to the government, you can't be a widow till you're 45.
Oh, that's a new one on me.
It's always been like that, apparently. And I'm not on a widow's pension. They've made this thing up called a widowed mother's allowance.
Yeah.
Because you can't be a widow till you're 45.
Yeah.
And there's only like £6 of that is one parent benefit. That's what they're planning on taking it off, you know?
Yeah.
And they've said them on income support won't be affected. Does that mean they're not going to take it off them?
Well, they still haven't really come out with final proposals. Supposedly there've been a big weekend at Chequers this weekend with them all, trying to help the pensioners and try to sort out single mothers and one-parent families and who are the bogeymen at the minute. That's, it's always wise to pick on a weak or a minority. That's what we've said about, everything. But so far they haven't yet to come up with an idea. But the one they did originally come up with has actually been costed out. It would cost the government, the country, more in the sense of trying to save money. They actually spend more money, but it pleases the Tory party, the blue rinses down at the Tory party conference, because it's none of their daughters would ever become pregnant, or if they do, of course, they've got enough money to
have an abortion.
Or get it took care of, or so there is, aside whether you like it or not at the minute, there is a law if you're rich and a law if you're poor.
Right. This luxury.
Hurry up.
A 4-poster bed with silk sheets.
Oh.
And frills and canopies.
Oh, yes, the test.
It's more of a fantasy than a luxury.
I've slept in one.
Oh, I haven't.
Ah, there's a place down in Richmond, a pub in Richmond Town Square. I forget the name of it now. Spent part of my honeymoon there. The trouble was the floor was at a 45-degree angle one way, the bed was 45 degree the other way, the silk sheets, and we kept slipping out every time. It was very difficult to have rumpy-pumpy because you couldn't everything. But it was very romantic.
Okay, Mike.
Okay then.
Northumbria police tell us on Tuesday the 13th of June a man was parked in a red Escort outside flats at Hunters Court in South Gosforth. He then walked towards the footbridge that leads to the area of Hollywood Avenue Post Office. Later the same day, a blue Ford Sierra stolen from Low Fell containing a driver and 3 others pulled up outside the post office. 3 went in and snatched cash, gas and telephone stamps, then escaped in the waiting car driven by the 4th man. They abandoned the Sierra in Turnberry Way in South Gosforth, then ran over the footbridge to the waiting Red Escort outside Hunter's Court. If you know anything about this, ring Crime Stoppers free on 0800 555 111. You don't have to give your name and you could receive a cash reward.
Crime Stoppers, brought to you in conjunction with Thorn, Fire and Security Systems, protecting people and property throughout the North East.
This is the show of shows. This is Mike the Mouth on the station of stations, Century Radio, broadcasting right through the region on 100 to 102 FM. To come aboard, all you do, free phone 0500 100 102, and I'm here to take your calls.
I've got the new Sunset Holidays Summer 96 brochure.
Great, why don't we... What was that?
Page 14, great destinations in Spain, and over the page, Mallorca, Ibiza, Costa Brava, Portugal and Benidorm. And just look at this. That's how much money we'll save with Sunset. There's 2 weeks for the price of 1 on selected holidays. Direct flights from Newcastle and low flight supplements.
Brilliant, let's... Where did all the kids come from?
Sunset have thousands of free places for children.
The 1996 Sunset Holiday Brochure, available now at your local travel agent, with hundreds of great quality holidays at great prices from one of the country's largest tour operators. Sunset Holidays, hot holidays, cool prices.
Come along to any one of Weir Valley District Council's leisure complexes right now, and you and your family can enjoy a fun, safe, quality time together. Because for a family of up to 5 people, all of you can swim for just £3. So come along to Woodhouse Close Leisure Complex, Bishop Auckland, Walsingham School Pool, Walsingham, or Glenholm Leisure Complex, Crook, and bring the family for only £3.
Weir Valley Leisure, where customers are really everything.
Oi, you, car driver! Are you sick of getting stuck in traffic on your way to work? Are you sick of petrol prices, parking problems, traffic wardens? Well, do yourself a favour. Get a Metro Saver. The weekly, monthly or yearly pass that gives you unlimited Metro travel and saves you pounds on your regular journey to work. No parking, no jams, no hassle. Buy one today at your Metro Travel Centre. The Metro Saver. Are you sick that I never mentioned it last week, or what?
Me and my brother are going to Spain next summer, and it's not costing anything.
Thousands of free child places with Sunset Holidays, hot holidays, cool prices.
Calls to Mike the Mouth are totally free of charge. 0500 100 102. Wherever you are, it's a free call to Century. Call Mike Elliott 0500 100 102.
Amanda, you've called. You're on. Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
I was on my way home in a taxi, and I heard your show, and I thought, I've got to phone this guy.
Right.
Because you spared some interest.
Right.
Now, it's about teenage pregnancy, but I don't want to get into an argument because we could argue all night.
No, you couldn't. I wouldn't let you, but never mind.
But I just wanted you to listen to some of another side of the story. I think, yeah, you shouldn't have kids if you can't afford them, but that could be said for a couple as well, yeah?
But I've said that.
Yeah, and do you not think the government should make it more favourable for a couple to stay together, you know, increase...
I think they should make it more favourable not to have kids. I would give them money not to have kids. You know, the trouble is, of course, the other side of the coin. What they're now saying is that the population's getting older. There's more of us getting older and older, and the birth rate's fallen, and we're going to have a problem with who's going to pay to look after the elderly. So we've got a problem here and a government that doesn't really know where it's going. On one hand, it's going to attack single mothers, and on the other hand, it actually probably needs them to keep having bairns to grow up, to earn money, to pay the taxes to look after pensioners.
Well, personally, I think they're targeting single parents, well, single mothers, and especially because it's a cop-out, because the child support agency hasn't worked.
I agree with that the child support hasn't worked, but let's bottom line. The bottom line has got to be, Amanda, here in 1995, with all the knowledge we have, there really isn't any need for a girl to become pregnant, right? You've got everything you need, free. So that's the first thing, and we're still getting girls getting pregnant. Now, the next thing is why. Either through ignorance, which is a terrible condemnation in the schools and the parents, or it's a need that they need something in their lives, which is a terrible condemnation of us all, I suppose, that a young girl of 13, 14, 15, 16 feels that she's got to go through a pregnancy to have someone to love and someone who depends on her. A terrible but soon at the bottom line, even with all that is, if you can't afford that child, you shouldn't be having a child.
Yeah, but we're prepared to give Ethiopia money, who are constantly having children and they can't afford to have these children.
I don't believe that giving aid to any of these does any good at all. It's somehow it eases your conscience. I think you should keep out of the way and let them try and resolve their own lives in their own possible way, because I don't think we've done any good with aid in any form, whether comic relief or live aid or records for Bosnia. I think some people make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, I think when you listen to people, they'll condemn single mothers, but then when they see pictures on the telly of Ethiopia...
I'm not bothered about Ethiopia. Do you not understand? I'm bothered about girls in this country here getting pregnant and they can't afford it.
Yeah, but
somehow we've got to start teaching girls at school and boys, of course, because the fathers walk off.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to mention
I've always mentioned the fathers, you just don't listen out there.
Well, I've never heard you say
Well, excuse me. Then you should open your lugs, because that's what I've been doing. My God, and they come on, they never listen, they get one half of a story, and then they'll probably write a letter and complain. There we go. And end up more money. What? Well, that's love. Tell them. Excuse me for 1 minute. £10. Okay, we're coming up the break. We'll see you after the break. This is 0500 100 102. Mighty Mike the Mouth on the show of shows, stations. Century Radio hitting you on 100 to 102. Firm.
From the Northeast's biggest radio station, this is Century News.
The Midnight News, this is Anne-Marie Minhall. NATO has blasted Serb targets in Bosnia with cruise missiles. They were unleashed from a US ship in the Adriatic and were aimed at targets in Banja Luka. NATO says the action is not an escalation of its airstrikes. Reporter Jim Clancy is aboard an American warship and watched as 13 Tomahawk missiles were fired.
We watched along with hundreds of crewmen on board the Theodore Roosevelt. Brilliant flashes lit up the Adriatic. There was billows of white smoke as the missiles went skyward, and then the lights, the flashes died down.
Captain Jim Mitchell, NATO spokesman in Naples, explains why the missiles were used in this attack.
Well, we want to reserve this weapon, which is a very accurate, very effective weapon, but it's a very expensive weapon, or comparatively expensive, to targets where it's most appropriate. And we felt that the area of Banja Luka, with its many air defense systems there, would be the right place to use Tomahawk.
Loyalists and RUC officers have been injured when an orange parade was attacked in County Antrim. Police say a large crowd became violent when the parade reached the centre of Dunloy after returning from a church service. Police searching for a missing 18-year-old girl have discovered a body in undergrowth in Norfolk. Rachel Lean vanished from her home in Buxton 5 days ago. Her father, involved in NATO missions in Bosnia, returned to Britain several days ago to try to trace her. Sergeant John Smith says the family will be the first to know if there are any new developments.
Her parents have been told that a body has been found close to RAF Coldershall, and currently there is an officer with the parents, and as information becomes available to us, they will be kept informed.
The former manager of a hostel in Birmingham for elderly men has been charged with 2 more murders. George Britton is now accused of killing 4 residents. Pete Sampras has won the US Open in New York for the 3rd time. He beat top seed Andre Agassi in 4 sets. Independent Radio News.
Northeast weather. With Northern Electric, the North's leading energy company.
It's a cloudy night throughout God's country, with the chance of showers as well all over the place. Overnight low, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now today, well, the same as ever, cloudy and showers, some chance of sunshine, top temperature 60 degrees Fahrenheit at Loftus, and of course here at 102 FM.
Century.
Calls to Mike the Mouth are totally free of charge. 0500 100 102. Wherever you are, it's a free call to Century. Call Mike Elliott 0500 100 102.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are. Oh, a Monday morning in God's country, and the show of shows is boogieing on. And remember, mind, Century Water Station. Exclusive coverage of all the borough games here on Century. And it's this Tuesday night when the story keeps moving along, because at the Riverside Stadium, the Selnet Riverside Stadium, Southampton come up. Matt Letizia with all that talent and all that skills. Can the borough do better than Newcastle against Southampton? Well, you can hear it on 100.7 FM. Dave Roberts and Alistair Brownlee will show you the way, take you all through it. You'll hear everything. You won't miss a thing. 100.7 FM, only on Century. You can listen to the borough v Southampton at the Riverside Stadium. Man, if you're in the north, you can still hear Stevie Phillips, of course, and his lovely little show, Dinky Boos. 101.8 FM will get you Stevie Phillips, and of course they're now full of Stevie, of course. So that's Tuesday night on Century, and the Daily Star, of course, is there as well, #1 for sport, that paper. So get yourselves mucked in with Dave Roberts and Alistair Brownlee. Can I get wrong, lads? Can I get wrong, lads? David.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, girls having children.
Oh, God. Yeah, go on.
Right.
Who started this?
Well, I
didn't
don't know.
start this.
Well, I don't know, but it comes up as a particular matter of interest to me because although I was married when the wife had a child, and it's her birthday today now, and...
Any happy returns, wife?
No, me daughter.
Oh, your daughter.
Who I haven't seen for a number of years, which is what brings the whole subject home to me very, very strongly. My wife, I believe that she got pregnant deliberately. We decided when we first got married that we wouldn't have kids for about 4 or 5 years till we could have a proper home to bring the child up in.
Yeah.
And she went back on that. She was on the pill. And said, oh, must have made a mistake, must have missed one night. As soon as she had the child, my daughter, she was off, and the next thing I knew, I was in court for maintenance, and she was on Social Security.
She took the daughter at the ban?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she made it extremely awkward for me to see her. Even though I had...
So she basically used you as a syringe?
Yes.
That's what you were, a syringe.
On top of that, she left me with a lot of debts, which took me about 3 or 4 years to pay off.
Well, you were good riddance to her?
Yes, unfortunately, it wasn't good riddance to my child, and it took me a little while to get round to get some access. Then she made it even more awkward because there was an argument on the doorstep, and the little girl was stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah, but is there a point to this story, David? I'm trying to figure out
what I'm saying is that there are women who are getting pregnant deliberately. She didn't want to work. I found out afterwards from people who worked with her. She had specifically made comments that she didn't need to work. She would find someone to keep her.
Well, I think she's a bit of a bomb pot. I think a baby is the most demanding job on the planet. Bringing up a mother and child, it's 24-hour non-stop work. It's the hardest grafting job in the world. You know, I think every woman deserves a medal for doing it. So she's. But
those were her thoughts at the time, and she wasn't a teenager. She was a 21-year-old woman.
Well, you see, partly it's your fault as well, because you should have realised she was an idiot.
Yes, I should have, but unfortunately I didn't.
Give her questions. Ask her outright, are you an idiot? And if she hums and ahs, then just walk away from her. You're better off without her, and sadly, of course, you've had to grow up without a child that you've, obviously that you would have loved. But
well, as I say, she's 20 today, and I haven't seen her since she was about 5.
You haven't seen her at all? She's never kept in touch with her?
Well, what happened was after the last time with all the upset that was being caused, I stopped for a while, and my wife moved and didn't tell me where she moved to.
Oh, so you don't know where she is?
I think she's somewhere in this area, but I don't know where.
Well, you know, put it this way: if your daughter wants to see you, she'll find a way to contact you.
I hope she will.
And,
but the other point as well, it's still about women as well. When you have a breakup of a relationship, no, this is not this relationship. It's another one I had. We weren't married, but we lived together. We had joint mortgage. We paid for all the house contents and everything together. Why is it, if you split up, that they always expect that you should pack your bags and go, and they want to keep all the belongings?
Well, when I said your wife was an idiot, it doesn't mean that it's a sort of congenital idiot. They're obviously not idiots down that. Obviously, they want to keep what they can. You know, it's like it's their doll's house, and they're not. You know, you leave, big bad doll, leave, go. Me play with doll's house, me stay. You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, just pack a bag and hire out.
But how do you do that?
Well, I mean,
it's very hard.
Well, not necessarily. You just hire out.
Yeah, but what if you're in the situation where you both own half the property?
Eh?
What if you're in the situation where you both own half the property?
Oh, there's a problem. There is a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. Well, you've just got to sell it.
Yeah. Well, I had to eventually.
Sell it eventually. Yeah. It's you should never. You know, I would never, ever got that situation. Half the property. God, no. The trouble is, even if you keep it and they leave you, they'll still take off. You see, that's the law. You see, they've got you by the short and curlies.
Yeah, well, I had to give it up, and it was quite a wrench. I missed the house more than I did her to finish.
Oh, never mind, David. You see, you know, you are basically unlucky in love.
Well,
and everything else.
Yes, I suppose so.
But never mind, anyway, you're still around, you're still alive, man. Fight it back.
Oh, well, I do, and I get on with life. And I just hope, as I say, today is my daughter's 20th birthday, and I hope she has a lovely birthday.
Well, we do too. It's always sad, that. Chris.
Oh, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Said that Peter, you've got a horn now to stop you from swearing on the...
I beg your pardon? You see, these papers are gossips.
It said on, I'm forgetting what day it was, now in the Chronicle.
Yeah.
Do you know when they say how many hundreds of people listen to your show and that? How can they tell that?
How many thousands, dear boy?
That's what I meant, how many thousands?
Thousands upon thousands. Well, what they do is they go and ask people. Ask people in the street, ask people on the phone, ask people at the doors. And then they have some people, a group who actually keep a diary. And these are scattered all over God's country, and different ages, different classes, different economic groups. And they take all this information in, feed it into a computer. It takes about 3 months or so, and at the end of the day they come out with piles of graphs and statistics and tells you how many hours average people listen to and how many people of age 25 and 30 or 15 or 65, men, women, or what have you. And it all comes out in flow charts and graphs.
Do you know the Yorkshireman as well?
What Yorkshireman?
Wait, you know the do you know Paul Frost? They're going to chuck him off the telly now, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
It said in the Sunday Day that he's getting chopped off.
Well, I would wait. I would hold back and say, you know, this television are always notorious for planning things and not doing. I did say that, and if it's true, I think it's a terrible thing because. Not only Paul, but the fact that they're going to shunt it down to Leeds. Everything seems to be moving to Leeds. And it's about time we up here told the powers that be that Leeds is not the North East. Leeds is Yorkshire and has got nothing to do with God's country. And God's country is Northumberland and Durham and a little touch of North Yorkshire. And that's it. That's it. And stop it. The Labour Party's moved their headquarters. T&G have moved down. There's people are moving down there, and you've got this gadget called Bruce Jignall down. He's in charge of Yorkshire T&T. He's an Australian. He wears pink. So obviously he's not one of the lads from God's country. Not one of the lads. Therefore he deserves smacking. And if he's going to take Paul Frost off, he'll have to get smacked.
as long as it doesn't move you, you know, it doesn't matter.
Well, I wouldn't work for an Australian. What is an Australian doing here? Taking that job, there's a lad on the door could have done that job. How dare he come across with his pink shirts? Who wears pink shirts anyway? You know, I'm not, I think it's a bit iffy, pink, but he wears pink everything. He's a pink person. And he should be smacked, just for his bad colour sense and coordination. Pink will be it, pink in Yorkshire.
What do you wear like?
Eh?
What do you wear like?
Taffeta.
Eh?
Taffeta.
What's that?
What, taffeta? It's like a sort of it's a fabric. I always dress or silk, because I have a delicate skin. I'm an icon.
I'll take your word.
Oh no, it's true. Usually in a green. At the moment, I've got a green taffeta shirt on, and it's with a cerise trim. Cerise trim with the green, to touch like the Wimbledon colours. But it's all in very gentle silk and taffeta.
But the best.
No, but the best, because you've got the money, because I am the best, you see. Simple as that, laddie. Simple as that. Now, you watch it. Otherwise, you'll get a Chinese wrist burn. 0500 100 1... Oh, I've done it to myself. 0500 100 102. Who's that there, Richard?
Yep.
Yep.
It is indeed.
It is indeed. Right, then.
It is indeed.
Good lad.
I have to apologise before I even start, because I'm Scottish.
You're Scottish?
Yep, so I have to apologise in case my accent
that's all right.
doesn't come across in Yorkshire.
This is not Yorkshire.
Well, it's York Radio, isn't it?
This is not Yorkshire.
It's York Radio, isn't it?
This is not Yorkshire. This is God's country. Yorkshire's somewhere else.
Hey, head on. I live in God's country, so I can't be in the same bloody place.
Well,
I live in Scotland.
Well, you see, now you've now gone twice down the pan, lying like that. Scotland, and of course, then you say that this is Yorkshire. I find that just.
I'll accept that part.
Right, so you don't. Where are you living now?
I'm living in Newton Aycliffe at the moment.
You're living in Newton Aycliffe at the moment.
Can you understand?
You'll be one of these people. I hope you're paying your rent.
Can you understand my accent?
Yes. But I hope you're not one of these Scotsmen who come down there to Newton Aycliffe, live there, and then disappear without paying the rent. There's far too many of you done that.
Down to York or wherever the hell you are, and I'll beat the shit out of you if you.
Get off my shore! What a pervy pran. Baz.
Hello, Mike.
Hello.
Just want to say I've been listening since the start of the programme, listened to all about the teenage pregnancies. I know you must be sick of hearing about it. But I've just got to say, you haven't said anything that I disagree with on the show so far.
Oh.
And the Alice in Wonderland that's been on, well, forget them.
Which ones?
I don't think I've heard one good comment concerning it tonight.
Well, I don't know where. I'm trying to figure out where it popped up. I didn't remember talking about this, and suddenly everybody's talking about teenage pregnancies. If I get my hands on who introduced it, I'm going to smack them.
Well, it was early, very early on.
I know, just coming out of the blue. Nothing to do with me at all. But there you go, and it's very dodgy for me because it's got,
I don't know why they keep on bringing up certain aspects of it and saying you don't mention the lad, you don't mention this, you don't. If they listen to the conversation, they would hear that you do.
Thank you. That's, you see, this is it. The trouble is they don't half listen, and then some of these weedy people, sneaks, then put pen to paper and write off and try and get me the sack. No, isn't that fair? Is that a fair world?
Well, no, it's not, no, but then that's what is fair in life, and there are people like this around you all the time, aren't there?
I'm afraid so, and it's very nigh annoying, I tell you. But thanks very much for supporting me, Baz.
Right, okay, good night then, Mike.
Good night and sleep well. There's Baz, there's Linda.
Hello, I'm Linda from Shields and I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, a virgin for century.
Definitely.
Good lass, Linda. What's Shields?
Simonside.
Oh, South Shields?
Yes, South Shields.
Okay.
First, I want to ask you a question. What's an icon?
I am an icon, my dear. You're talking to one now.
Brilliant one. Like, you were saying you shouldn't have children if you've got no money.
Yep.
Right. Well, my mother and father, they had the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't, they didn't spend it on me. They didn't bring me up properly. Well, I'm brought up properly myself, but by myself. I didn't get no backup off my parents.
What, they didn't feed you when you were born?
Oh, they fed us.
And they clothed you?
Oh, yes, until I was 16, and I had to look after myself.
Well, yes, but and at 16 you
And the
looked
point-
after yourself.
Uh-huh.
Did you become pregnant at 16?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So, what's your beef?
The point is, my husband's on a low pay. He's a security guard. You know how much them get paid.
Oh, don't tell me about that. My goodness me.
And well, we haven't got much money, but we spent all our love on our children.
Look, you first off, you've hit one criteria: parents, man, woman, mummy, daddy.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. That's good, right? You can't give love. You think about it. Now, if you said to me, you know, we just have children, we don't even think about anything else. You do think about things in a family. You do think about whether you can afford, and especially on a low-pay family, you've got to think about where every penny goes.
Oh yes,
Right?
you do.
And therefore, sometime you'll have thought that through about your child, whether you had a child or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't be decent parents if you just went willy-nilly and had a child and realised you couldn't.
I haven't went willy-nilly.
You couldn't you couldn't give it anything. That's wrong. That's immoral. That.
Oh, it is.
But you haven't done that, so I'm not arguing with you.
Right. Can you say hello to my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law that sit and listen on the wireless? I've converted them from the other station to this station.
There is no other station, Linda.
No, this is the
other
only
station.
one.
No other love of you. What do they call them then, these two old
Well,
biddies?
it's Linda. She's stopping up late. She works. She's got to get up early in the morning.
Well, get yourself to bed, Linda.
And Jean, my mother-in-law.
Jean, the mother-in-law, is she the ugly one?
Oh, no.
Is she not?
She's been more than a mother to me than your mother.
She's been more than a mother. Why, I bet you're a slaverer. What a brown nose, Linda. You come on here, you're buttering up. How old is she, like your mother-in-law?
60.
60, that's it. You're just trying to cop in on the will.
No, I'm not.
All the best, mother.
Right.
What do they call your mother-in-law?
Jean.
Jean and Linda. No, you're Linda. Jean and Linda. Yes, I was
Yeah,
right.
Sister-in-law's called Linda as well.
Sister-
There's a lot
that's
of
it.
Lindas in the family.
A lot of Lindas. Even the men are called Linda.
Some of them.
Oh, you'll be well happy at Christmas when you get the present off a few of the lads. Oh, so I'm a Linda. Anyway, well done, Jean, and well done, Linda. And Linda, bye-bye.
Right, bye.
Bye. Whoa, dear me. Let's go on to Artie.
Hello, Mike.
Hiya, Artie.
I want to talk about teenage pregnancies.
Go on.
Right, I didn't agree with abortions, like you said before.
Oh, God, do they listen? Do they listen to me?
Because it was me last one before.
Yeah. Joanne.
Aye, and I've stuck by her.
You've stuck by her, that's good.
I went to that, you know, when she had the band.
Yeah.
I went there and all.
That's good, I'm glad you have.
Aye.
You know, because you wouldn't have been much of a man if you hadn't stuck by her.
Oh, well, I did.
Because it's you a bairn, it's her as well as her bairn, and you did the right thing. But when we talk about abortions, you see, if you'd only listen, is that what I said was it may well come about that it will be forced upon people. Because the government, we've already had a government minister saying that the children should be taken off and adopted.
Well,
So there's only one step down to abortion, so that's what I'm saying.
I think it's all wrong.
Well, I think it's wrong that I would hope that we have we're more civilised country than we go out and abort willy-nilly. But at the same time, I think it's wrong that girls get pregnant too young and haven't got the wherewithal to look after the child. That's wrong. And especially wrong for the boy to walk away and not shoulder his responsibilities.
Well, I've stuck by her.
So you are, well, you should be applauded, and everybody out there will say, go for it. They'll wish you luck, they'll want you to get a job, they'll want the two of you to stop together, and hopefully, as you develop, make a bigger family. That's no problem at all. No problem whatsoever. But keep with her, and don't accept your responsibilities as a father. Too many lads did it.
Well, I've got a job, you see, as a joiner.
Well, well, you'll always work. At least you can have the crib.
Aye.
You see? So that's good. Nobody's attacking you for that. Well, you've got to listen, though, all the time, otherwise we'll get nowhere fast. Okay, let's go on to Suzanne. Susan.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm on about that fella that was on about this. You mentioned the child psychologist. Is it?
The bullying of his child. Yeah.
Why, I'm having problems with my oldest daughter, not just at school, at home as well. And do you have to go through your doctor to get into one of these?
Well, I would think your doctor could be of use. What, your child has been bullied?
No, she's not being bullied. It's just a total change of attitude.
How old is she?
She's 9.
9? What's she doing?
Well, totally disruptive at home. And now, like, they've only been back to school a week now.
Yeah.
And she's been put on report, which has got to be signed, like, every day by the teacher.
And when did this change happen? Just recently?
About 2 months.
Yeah.
But behind it all is the reason she wants to go back to Newcastle to live, because that's where we're from.
Right.
But we've been here now since, January.
Where's this?
Crook.
Oh, yeah, Crook.
Well, it's a little village just out from Crook.
And your daughter is missing her friends?
Well, she's got plenty up here. This is what I can't understand. She's plenty friends. I mean, she's got a sister. I've got a younger daughter as well. But
Well, it's difficult to say. What your things that you look at for, I suppose, the worst one would be, is she on drugs?
No.
Because the change of personality, that's one area you'd automatically think of.
Well, you would think she was for the way she's going on.
Well, I would to go and talk to your family doctor and mention it, and then I would get her. Also, I would talk about the school. Yeah, I would think if you can, I say that it's a good thing to try and get some professional help. Just so that why is she doing this? Maybe she just needs to be brought out. Maybe a teacher could do it rather than an educational psychologist. Maybe the doctor could do it. But I think you should talk to your family doctor first.
Yeah, 'cause
and also.
She's not even happy about us going to work now. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't want us to go to work.
Well, yeah. Well, that's easy enough argued. You say because unless you want to starve, we go to work.
Well, I says to her, I says you need food in your stomach, don't you? I'm not hungry. I says you need clothes on your back. I've got plenty. But
yeah, it's amazing how intelligent children get at 9, and then and then when they come to 11, they're thick again. It's quite amazing. I would check with your doctor and also check with the school and talk about an educational psychologist in that one. And it may well be that the school can refer it to, but it's worthwhile checking up because she's obviously something's wrong, and if it's not drugs, hopefully, then she's wanting some attention. She wants something. She doesn't want you to leave. She needs you. She's scared. Something's happened. It may well be. Is she being bullied at school? I don't know.
No, she hasn't. I've been down to the school.
Yeah.
So
there's something there. I think you should check up on it though.
Right.
Okay, Chuck.
Thanks a lot.
Best of luck. Keep us informed. 500 100. That's 100 102. Is it? 500 100 102. Thomas.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a Century Virgin.
Welcome, Century Verge.
We listen to your programme most nights.
Most? What do you mean, most?
Well, most nights, but you upset me last week by saying Yorkshire people were ignorant and...
Well, yeah, they're thick.
They're not.
They are.
They're not.
Well, of course, you know that. You know that.
No.
Where are you from?
Sunderland.
Well, there you... Oh, no, come on.
Now, come on. No, you listen. I was born and bred in Sunderland. Right, in Farringdon and Grindon.
What?
I used to go to Broadway School,
Is this going to take long, Thomas, because,
No, it's not going to take long. All I want to know is...
Your tank engine might be running away from you.
No, it won't. It's way past my bedtime, because I've got to be up at work at 4:45.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
Well, there you are, then. You must have Yorkshire blood in you.
No, you haven't got Yorkshire blood in me.
Well, he hasn't got Yorkshire blood. So what are you defending Yorkshire for, then?
Because I married a Yorkshire lass.
Oh.
No, you...
She's probably drugged you, man. You were probably drugged. You didn't realise what you were doing. You probably didn't realise what you were doing. What part of Yorkshire's from?
In Hawes.
I beg your pardon?
Hawes.
Hey, excuse me. What's the language here? I'm going to be up here again.
Hawes, not bloody Hawes. So
what?
Anyway, why...
He said horse, not horse.
I mean,
Hold your horses.
You said you didn't like people from Yorkshire.
Ooh, I never said that.
You did.
I never said I didn't like people from Yorkshire. I said they were thick.
Yeah, so in other words, you don't like them.
But your wife's thick.
No, she's not.
She must be thick.
She's not.
She's bound to be thick, man.
No, she's not.
Right,
she's more intelligent than what I am.
Ask her to ask her a question. Who was her first lover?
Eh?
Ask her that.
What?
Who was her first lover?
Me.
Well, therefore you're thick.
Any case, you said you were from Farringdon, don't you?
Who says I'm from Farringdon?
You did.
Stop. You see, people half listen. I'll tell you where I'm from.
You used to go in the Londonderry. You used to be a DJ in the Londonderry, didn't
I've never been a DJ. You know, that's it. You've insulted me. A DJ? You call me a DJ? An icon like myself? My goodness me. Let's listen to this.
Listen. Quiet, isn't it? It's always quiet at night. There's a fox. And that's an otter. Oh, that's a parcel force articulated lorry, carrying parcels for delivery to 9 out of 10 of the largest companies in the UK. Sleep tight.
For details of an express delivery service for companies large or small, call Parcel Force on 0800 10 12 24, day or night.
What can the whole family do together that's safe, fun and very good for you? Swimming! And right now there's another reason to take the whole family to one of Weir Valley District Council's leisure complexes. Because right now a family of up to 5 people can swim for only £3. So come along to Woodhouse Close Leisure Complex, Walsingham School Pool or Glenholm Leisure Complex and swim with the family for only £3. Weir Valley Leisure, where customers are really everything.
Hello. Normally we'd have a commercial break at this point, but the guy who usually writes the scripts has broken his leg and wasn't able to come in and finish off some of these ads. If only he'd asked his broker about chauffeur plan or free-phoned 0800 24 24 20. He could have got a taxi or even a chauffeur to bring him to work today. And chauffeur plan would have kept him on the road if his car was stolen or in an accident or even if he was disqualified. And all from as little as 18 pence a day if you're 25 or over. Oh dear. Oh, well, if he does come in, I'll tell him to free phone 0800 24 24 20. And in the meantime, here's something else.
If you've got something to say it to the man who loves to talk, Mike Elliott, the phone-in live and exclusive on Century across the Northeast. 0500 100 102. Calls to Century are free.
Yes, indeed, Linda.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Linda. Where are you
Hi,
phoning me
darling.
from?
I'm phoning you from New Biggin Hall.
New Biggin Hall.
Aye, do you remember me?
I do indeed.
Aye, well, I'm on a happy scale tonight, Mike.
Why?
I'm celebrating my birthday tonight.
Many happy returns.
Thank you, darling.
Many happy returns.
Have you had a good weekend?
Wonderful weekend, my duck. Wonderful weekend. Lots of glugging.
I'll tell you, I was sitting having a drink the night, right, and I thought, well, I'm going to get home early because I'm going to phone Michael and I'm going to tell him what a good night I've had.
So you've had a birthday celebration in the pub up in New Biggin?
Yep.
New
No,
Biggin Hall.
I was in the town.
Are you down what, Newcastle?
I was down the town, yes.
It's dead on a Sundays, isn't it? There's no big hands out.
Hey, I was in Idols.
Oh,
And I
you
had...
didn't do the Dancy Topley with a T-shirt and all that?
Oh, I did, I did. And I had a rare time.
Well, I always miss out.
Mind you, Mike, I'll tell you, it's hard going doing that gangbang with the 2 fellas, I'll tell you.
Well, we'll take your word for that, Linda.
Aye.
You know, but you see, if you did it with me, lassie.
Honestly, I mean, I felt like a rag doll in between 2. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously they were just boys when you were men.
They were. I mean, my good man Stephen, he went up and he told them it was my birthday, and he says, let's have a gangbang for her. I mean, I moved, as I told you.
What a lovely boyfriend.
I moved here in February, right? And I've got a load of collections of T-shirts. I've either won them with singing,
aye,
and I won a few bottle of bubblies, and I'm going to pin them on my wall. But the only one that's missing is the Century T-shirt.
Well, we'll have to get you one, but we haven't got any at the minute, so you'll have to write a letter into Century to me, and then I'll forward it through. That's the best way to do it.
I will do it.
I'll have to try and buy some, and then I'll start giving them away myself.
Aye.
Because I'll have to buy them, I'll have to come out of my own pocket, but everything comes out of my pocket now.
And I'll be right there to get one.
Okay then.
Because Michael, I'll tell you, right? You know when I met you, when I went to the Young Entertainers.
The Rainbow Rooms.
That's right. And I was actually in the lift with you, and I didn't know it was you because I didn't know who you were.
That's it, I remember
You
you
know what I
saying
mean?
that, yes.
And I'm standing there, and Stephen's gone, I'm sure that's him. I'm sure that's Mike. And I went, I didn't know. I said, I've never seen him.
Yeah, well, you see,
And I was petrified to go and talk to you in case I
people
made a
just
mistake.
have never seen an icon before. This is the
No,
trouble. This is what
this is
happened with Rod, little Rod. He just fainted as soon as he met me.
Oh, me
Fine.
darling. I'll tell you, my sister-in-law, remember I was telling you when things happened and you had to go off, you know, and I
Yeah.
told my sister-in-law, and I let her hear your tape, and she says, well, he's got to come back on because you've got to tape him again, you know, and I says, well, listen, I says, he'll be back.
Oh,
I
back.
says, he will definitely be back.
Definitely be back, but
And she
I shouldn't have gone off in the first place.
You shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done, because that was a bad mistake on their part.
Well, she's banned now. I'll not have her on.
They
She's
don't
banned.
know. They don't know who they're dealing with, Mike.
Well,
They're-
it sneaks. It
they're
sneaks. But
feeling-
I don't want to talk about it anymore, Linda.
No, darling.
Okay.
no.
Happy birthday. Have a good night. Thanks for calling. I've got to rush through people here. Bob.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Bob.
First timer.
Another virgin.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
goodness
like.
me, there's about 10 or 11 we've had this tonight. That's good. Welcome.
I wanted to talk about this CSA. You know, because you get the women on all the time talking about having the children and that, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had my Ben for a year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and these men keep getting picked on all the time of this CSA. How comes the women don't get picked on, like?
Well, because the CSA works on the assumption that as men do the jobs and the women stay at home. It's that sort of madness. And that the man is the one who runs away and doesn't pay responsibilities. But you see, we've had this on CSA before, the child and support. These are two words that are an insult to any thinking person, because it's a treasury con to try and claw money back. It's certainly got nothing to do with supporting children at all.
Well,
It's a scam. It's a
I mean, my ex-wife, I mean, she works like, you know, and I've had nothing whatsoever of her. And I support my child.
There are fathers who run away from their responsibility, who deserve a good smacking, because they're certainly not men, and they should be there contributing to their children's welfare and well-being. And that they're not, they deserve to be caught. There's every right that deserves to happen. But there are also parents who have made arrangements, who are now getting them changed, and there's people, you know, like yourself, who have the child with them. And this.
And shouldn't women be smacked as well and get caught?
Well, yeah, of course they should. I mean, see, if you're defrauding or not paying the maintenance, that's it's wrong. But it's wrong for any man who plants a seed into a woman, for that seed to come to fruition as a child, for that man to walk away. That is not a man.
Yeah,
That is a gutless, ignorant individual.
Yeah, and isn't it also that a woman shouldn't walk away as well?
Nobody should. Nobody should. We accept that, we understand that, we know that. And that's by the by. But don't believe the CSA is any kind of sort of thing that will get you going on. Bob, Billy.
Oh, hi, Mike. How are
Yeah.
you?
Not so bad.
Good. I just want to say I moved away from the northeast of England across the United States, and I'm back after a few years of being away.
Where's your accent gone?
Oh, it comes out when I've had a few drinks, you know, and every now and then it slips back in the local Newcastle and so on. So I just want to say that the place has all changed. The people have got a lot colder. They're not communicating as much as they used to.
Well, they've been dumped on from a great height.
No, we haven't.
And I mean, you got out. You naffed off. So didn't
Oh,
you
I
come
didn't
back here
naff
from
off.
America and start slagging off this area?
Oh,
You haven't been here.
Hey, excuse me.
You should have stopped here.
Time out, Mike. I'm not slacking it off. I'm just saying it's changed a bit.
Well, what do you think happens? You see, we do not stultify up here. We move on.
Could you repeat that in English?
Right? I beg your pardon.
You don't what?
Stultify.
Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Well, there you are. You see, you come back and you learn.
exactly.
Right, now you've been to America, you've lost your accent. You couldn't wait to lose the accent. You couldn't wait to get away. I lived in America, I never lost my accent, kidder.
Yeah, but how long were you there? 2 weeks on a package holiday?
Oh, my goodness me, how are you? You know, what part of America did you live in?
I lived in Florida and Los Angeles.
Oh, Florida and Los Angeles, yes. That's a sort of quasi-yucky accent that people do tend to pick up.
Well, it's kind of Valley Babe, like, hi, y'all, how you doing?
Yes, I know. I've heard it a million times.
Well, I'd just like to say that the people are dead nice here in Newcastle and everywhere.
Oh, they're nice now. They were cold before.
Oh, they're cold, but they're still nice. They're still warmer than Americans and more genuine and everything.
And what brought you back here, then?
Oh, my friends were having a party, and we've, like, kind of gone into Newcastle, and...
But why did you come back from America?
Why? Because I've come back. My friends are having a party for their birthday.
Oh, you're just visiting?
Yeah, I'm a flight attendant for an airline.
Oh, well, there you go, but it's not even a proper job.
It's not a proper job. Hey, I serve coffee, tea, you know, everything. Chicken, beef, the lot.
And which airline? Is this a big airline?
It's a major American airline.
Oh, do they fly in and out of Britain?
Oh, yes, they do.
Major American. So it could be American Airlines.
They could possibly be.
Could be. Well, so I might be flying out there at Christmas. So I might end up with you as my steward.
Oh no, that would be really sad.
No, you'll be in economy. I'll be in first class. So obviously
no,
we probably wouldn't meet. No. Surely not. You're not qualified enough to be a first class cabin attendant.
No, Mike, I don't work coach. My friends think that's funny because I never work coach. I always work at least premium executive or something like that.
Oh, good. You must be the token. That's it. You're the token one.
The token one?
Yeah, they put you there. They said, yeah, he's not really American. He is a Georgie.
Well, let's get the people talking when you can, like, say, oh, yeah, I'm from
You're just the working class rough. That's all you are.
Oh, me, girl, I ain't rough.
Well, no, I'm using it metaphorically, dear.
Oh, I
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically?
Metaphorically speaking, dear me. Working class lad from Newcastle, funny accent, up in the sky, big silver bird, selling what? Giving away the coffee and tea. And he says he's never worked coach. Excuse me. Being a multi flyer. Have you ever Flizzin Rod? Oh, God, that gin's getting better. I just have a drink of this gin. There he is. Comes back from America. I don't know. The trouble was they all want to come back and somehow they wanted all to just survive and be the same as everywhere before. Mary.
Mary?
Right, Mary.
Right, hi. Am I speaking to the icon of Century Radio?
You are indeed.
I'll toast me gin to your gin.
Oh, hey, that'll do me, champion there.
Cheers, Mike.
Chin chin, darling.
Chin chin. Right, come and talk about neighbours. And not the programme.
Thank God for that. You nearly got dumped immediately there.
Yeah, next door neighbours. Have you got good neighbours?
Have I got good neighbours?
Yes.
I've actually, I have. I've got to my left there is a Muslim family. And to my right is a Buddhist group. I feel a bit like Nepal in the middle, but excellent. Quiet, nice.
You get on with them, do you?
Courteous, yeah.
All right.
No problem whatsoever.
Right. I'm not going to name any names.
You're not allowed to.
No, I'm not going to even say where I'm from. I moved into the house I'm living in at the minute 5 months ago. There's me and my 2 kids, a 6-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl.
16-year-old boy, 17-year-old girl, okay.
6-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl.
I've got you, right.
Right. I might add I'm a single parent, but that's not what I'm going on about. It's neighbours, right?
Yeah.
The lady next door to me, I wouldn't call her a lady, but she's a woman. She lives next door to me. She's lived here for, 35, 36 years. And she owns the street, right? There's only 5 houses on the street, right? And I'm in the middle of them 5 houses. Now, I class myself as a good neighbour. I'm quiet, considerate, because I've got a young son. I mean, he's in bed when he's supposed to be in bed on school nights. And Friday night, just out of the blue, I had company landing, and there was a bit of noise. I was sitting in the kitchen. All it was people sitting round a table with the radio on. We were listening to Century, and this, I nearly swore there, this woman come hammering on my back door, effing and blinding, telling me, well, I'll not go into what she was saying.
She was maliciously
very, very
abusing you.
abusive. Mike, I'm quiet. I really am quiet. And this woman knocked on my back door, and she was effing and blinding.
Why was she doing this?
Because it was 1:15 in the morning. It was a weekend. It was the first time anything like that had ever happened.
What ever happened? What you see?
It was music and people laughing and singing.
All right, okay.
Right? There was nobody in the garden or anything. Everybody was in the house, right? And she come out of her house, and she was very, very abusive, right? Now, I live, as I say, I live by myself with my 2 kids. I've got a boyfriend who I don't live with. He is the father of the youngest of my children. He came the next morning to apologise to her, and she was very, very abusive to him.
Why did he feel the need to apologise?
Because we felt as though I had done something wrong. We've only lived here.
Now, be honest now, was this not a sort of a raucous party? Piles of noise, keeping people up,
well, I tell you exactly,
banging and stuff like that?
No, there was 4 adults and 2 children sitting in my kitchen.
Drinking and playing music?
Playing music and playing cards and Trivial Pursuit. And it was too loud for her. Apparently her husband had to get up for work the next morning. I mean, all she had to do was knock on my door and say, right, Mary, can you keep it down? And all we got was verbal abuse. And he ended up walking away from her house and going to his. And I went to her house, I mean, my next door neighbour, I shouted for her. And I said, look, I'm sorry, it'll not happen again. You've got my solemn promise it'll not happen again. And all she come out with was, I've got brothers who can do this, who can do that. Apparently she's been done for, she's been up for GBH and God knows what. I mean, I'm living in fear. I don't do anything.
Guests around your house, you're entitled to play music, and she hasn't got any right. Are these council houses?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, then I would immediately, the best thing is, the best form of defence is attack. So the first thing is I would get this written down, and get a copy to your local councillor and to the housing authority. You get your side in first before this woman. She may well have done it herself first anyway, so get that done so that your councillor knows what's happening. That's the first thing.
Can I put something to you? Right, this block of houses, all the original tenants are still living there, right? I'm the second one to live in this house in 36 years.
Right.
They're all original tenants, right?
Yeah, so are you saying that they're cliquey?
So they're all old people. This woman took over the house from her mother when her mother died.
Yeah.
Right? So she was used to living next to an old couple until I took it over like 4 months ago.
Well, she's going to have to get you. She hasn't got. You see, there's some families do think that they can control houses and streets. The council control those, and you've got every right to be there. She has got no power or no authority. And threats, what she's trying to use, threats.
Complaining about the Ben slamming.
No,
we've got a back door and a front door and a middle door, and if you open the back door and the front door, the middle door slams.
Yeah,
She's complaining about doors slamming.
Well, all you've got to do is make sure you tell the council that. Tell your councillor first, and get a copy. Keep copies of everything. Don't just, and get them, so that the councillor first, and then try and have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
Explain the situation. Sometimes it just needs maybe a mediator, but if she won't have it, then hard cheese for her. She hasn't got the power to get you evicted, okay?
She's the sort of person that would turn round and, like, punch you in the street.
Well, if she did that, then you must, and I repeat, you must take out a charger. Get her done.
Yeah.
Get her done. You mustn't allow this woman to victimise you. Okay? Keep us in touch as well.
Listen. Quiet, isn't it? It's always quiet at night. There's an owl. And a badger. Oh, that's a parcel force computer in their Wakefield depot, confirming details of express packages arriving from Reading in time for delivery to businesses by 10 a.m. Sleep tight. For details of a reliable delivery service, call Parcel Force on 0800 10 12 24, day or night.
What can the whole family do together that's safe, fun and very good for you? Swimming! And right now there's another reason to take the whole family to one of Weir Valley District Council's leisure complexes. Because right now a family of up to 5 people can swim for only £3. So come along to Woodhouse Close Leisure Complex, Walsingham School Pool or Glenholm Leisure Complex and swim with the family for only £3. Weir Valley Leisure, where customers are really everything.
The Borough back at the Riverside, and do you remember what happened last time?
Could be the first goal for the Riverside. Squares it a hit net! It's there! Barby, the £5.25 million man inside the area. Jan Fiorto scores!
We'll drool over Letitia's skills. Southampton's the opposition. It's live, it's exclusive on Century, Tuesday at 7.
Country Countdown USA.
I'm Lon Helton, and I hope you join us this week when my co-hosts are going to be Sawyer Brown's Mark Miller and Hobie Hubbard.
We'll bring the title song from our brand new album, This Thing Called Wantin' and Having It All, and a bunch of Sawyer Brown hits.
We'll also have stories about some of the artists in the top 30, including a hot young singer who co-wrote one of our hits.
This week to host Country Countdown USA.
From 2 till 5 every Sunday afternoon on Century.
Yes, sirree there. Lovely voices there. Love those voices. It's a bit like that lad, that cabin steward. He didn't have a proper American voice, you see. Fancy changing your accent, though, just 'cause you live in America. I never did. Some of us, true to the roots, not dye them grey, like you. Who's this one? Gary. Gary.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness me.
Hello, I'm a first-time caller.
You what?
I'm a first-time caller.
Well, hey, welcome, Gary. It's nice to hear a Century Virgin. We always welcome them. Welcome to the fold.
Right, I need a bit of advice. I live in a block of flats, right?
Yeah.
And when people go out and they drink and that, they come back in and they just fill the lifts with piss.
Yes. Yes. This does happen. There is a strange thing for a lot of men and some women. There's this need to urinate while going up.
I know.
I don't know what it is. It's maybe they always want to have the tallest pee. But I've been in so many blocks of flats, and the smell is disgusting.
It stinks.
And these people, they live there. It's not as if they've got far to travel. It's not as if you're on the last bus and you've got 5 miles to travel and you're desperate to go to the lab and the bus is not going to stop. You know. So you've got a problem there. You either wet yourself or you pee on the bus or something nasty like that. These are going home.
I know. But the worst thing about it is there's old people blaming young people. And me and my friend caught somebody and it was an old person.
What do you mean? It was an old person?
Like an old person what lives in the flats. Who blames all the young'uns for doing it, and it was him.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's there's not much you can say about that.
Guess where he's from and all? He's from Yorkshire.
I knew it! Gary, you see now, people accuse me, and then there it is. You come out them out of the mouths of babes, if you give me for saying babes, but you're a virgin here. And, yeah, the truth is, I just cannot understand why people want to do it in lifts. I cannot see because it's their lift. You know what I mean? Do these people not have the sense of smell? Do they not have the ability to... So what thoughts? How can we stop them doing this?
Nobody does know to put it. The caretaker doesn't do out. Nobody else does out. The caretaker hardly mops it up.
Oh, well, I'm going to say he's remiss in his job, but it's not a... Oh, goodness me. You know, that is terrible. It is. Is it council flats?
Aye.
Well, again, I think, you see, everyone who urinates in the lift is breaking their tenancy agreement. And I think what you should do, again, is drop a line to your local council, find out who he or she is, right?
Aye.
And tell them what's happening, and that this is it's a health hazard. What about people coming to visit and stuff like that? It's a slight on everybody in the block of flats. Being serious here. And also tell them that they should come and have a look themselves. And what they should be doing is sending a letter out to all the tenants saying that what they're doing is wrong, and if they are caught, they will be evicted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be whereabouts? What town is this in?
It's in Shieldfield, Newcastle.
In Newcastle.
Aye.
Well, there you are. You see, people one time they'll sing the praises of people from Newcastle, and then you've got these people who I cannot believe they're incontinent in a lift. I cannot believe that the motion of a lift going upwards affects the bladder. You know, I just cannot believe that that could ever happen, to be honest. Have you mopped up? Have you cleaned up after you?
I wouldn't eat in a lift and that, you know what I mean? I just wait till I get up the house.
Well, that's it. You see, you've got a lav in the house.
I know.
That's all they have done, isn't it? They haven't sort of...
They've just emptied it on the floor. Rather than doing it in the house.
I just cannot believe... I cannot understand it. Do you know, there's just some pigs... There are some pigs around here. I can understand somebody being caught short in the street, and of course you run the risk of getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it happened to me. I must admit it did happen to me. But I was up a back alley. I was desperate to go into the toilet, and I couldn't, really hold it in. I was in pain, and it's bad for you. It really is. And I went up a back alley though, out the way, and just started. And then, of course, the cop comes along, and the most stupid thing this cop said was, "Stop that." You can't... what? Do you know, I'm afraid all this talking about the toilets is getting me off. Oh, dear me. I've got to go home, bugger. I've got to tell you, I'm going to go home, forget them all. I've got a few letters here, just while I've got them out. And I've got this one from Christine from Reckitt. Great show you have. Listen every night. The other week you said you wanted your face on the back of a bus. Well, up here, if you're ugly, that's Reckitt, we'll say you've got a face like the back of a bus. So when anyone says that now, you'll say you've got a face like John Morgan because he's ugly. Oh, slap it off John Morgan. That's why, because what she's saying is she doesn't want my face on the back of a bus. She said she was going to send us a gin, but she decided against it. Thanks very much. She drank the bottle herself. Christine, I wonder how old she is there. And she's a mouthy. She says she's a Mike the Mouthy fan. Also, I've got to thank, this is quite amazing. If you remember when we were talking, I think we'll probably come back to this, maybe this week, excuse me, as we were talking about that Roswell, the Roswell incident about the UFOs. Well, we got some stuff sent and I lost it, and the guy whose name has just disappeared, somebody puzzled through it, has sent me the stuff back, but he's also sent me a thing called the UFO magazine, which I never realised. Is there anybody out there? And we said, we're really going to have a good catching onto the UFO sagas and stuff like that, because it's this is amazing. I never ever realised that there was such a magazine like that, and it's got stuff in all about the UFOs. And And the flight. Now, what he said is, this is quite interesting. A few years ago, I was listening to a station up here, and an elderly bloke rang in and spoke about a UFO sighting at Dunstan. Dunstan, of all places. And that was at the end of the Second World War. And according to him, a UFO had landed at Dunstan's. And the occupants were rounding up the kids, taking them back to their craft, taking blood samples and performing tests, and then letting them go. Well, this is it. This is why we've got so many nutters around Dunstan, you know, as the parents. Well, it's supposing that. It's quite amazing. Anyway, we've got all this. So if we do want to talk, if there's anybody out there with UFO information or a member of this organisation that does these things, UFOs and stuff like that, definitely be well pleased to listen. And also, now this is where's that other letter? Yes, here we go. There we are. There it is there. In the bottom of the bag. Yet another, would you believe, BBC International Children's Chain letter. Now this is, you may be getting these. I've got names from Gateshead. What's wrong with, are you all thick in Gateshead pie and this sort of thing? This letter mentioned the BBC Record Breakers television programme. Could you please send a picture postcard to the first name on the list, then copy the letter word for word and send it to 6 of your friends, leaving out the first name on the top of the list and adding your name, number 6, every moves up. Please write within 6 days of receiving this letter or the chain will be broken. After 36 days, you will receive postcards from all over the world. This letter was started in Switzerland, and even Buckingham Palace has not broken the chain as Prince William is on the list. What garbage! You have been sent this letter because you are considered reliable. If you do not break the chain and it continues until next March, it will be entered into the Guinness Book of Records. You know. Please do not break the chain and help achieve the record started by... Now this, if BBC Record Breakers started this, then they deserve smacking themselves because it is the most inane piece of action that anybody can ever get up to. Okay? So don't do it. All right? I will see you... I'll see you tonight. Take care. Bye.
Now, live.
From the Northeast's biggest radio station, this is Century News.
The 1 o'clock news, this is Anne-Marie Minhall. A NATO warship has fired 13 cruise missiles at key Serb targets in northwest Bosnia. It's the first time the Tomahawk missiles have been used in Operation Deliberate Force. From the Serb stronghold of Pale, our reporter Ian Glover-James.
The cruise missiles were targeted at the anti-aircraft missile batteries at Banja Luka in the western part of Serb-held Bosnia. The same missiles that shot down the American F-16 pilot Scott O'Grady. The attack came just as the UN military commander in Bosnia, General Janvier, was meeting the Bosnian Serb commander, General Mladic. Last time they met, General Mladic refused point-blank UN demands to withdraw his heavy weapons from around Sarajevo, but last night's attack may have changed that. Ian Glover-James, Pale.
The former manager of a hostel for elderly men in Birmingham is due to appear in court today, charged with 2 more murders. 65-year-old George Britton is already accused of killing 2 residents and assaulting 4 others. West Midlands police have been carrying out an 8-month investigation into a string of suspicious deaths.
The heart of the Northeast, Century Radio.